Mine is
Ori,
hidden
you
out of
calm
the
down
way.
so we can do this show, okay? I don't need any whining.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good, bad. I'm the guy with the mic.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Padded Cell. And we get to have Ron and Dr. Slasher.
Good, bad. He's the guy with the mic.
Yep.
Cheers. I'm grateful to have you both here.
I'm gonna try to put my phone sideways again. I haven't tried this in a while, and I can never remember why I don't do it. There we go.
All right, Friday, what are
Alrighty.
you drinking?
I am drinking orange spice tea,
Nice.
Lovely.
mainly because I ran out of the Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
I am
Yep.
drinking pre-workout with a little bit of electrolytes after just having some Deadly Grounds coffee.
There you go, man.
And, oh yeah, you should probably say hi, Tom Dog.
Hey, Tom Dog, what's up, brother?
Well, yes, we are back.
We are. Ish.
I have been, after last Friday's episode, this time around, I'm looking up Italian death traditions, and they've done away with the hired mourners.
Yep.
They're trying to do it more dignified, and I can understand why that is most definitely important.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just, can you imagine to be what it would like to be a hired mourner?
Sure.
You're basically just hiring actors, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they would have to have something like Honors use to keep their voices from going bad with all that screaming and crying and wailing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hunt actors would be good for that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it all depends on what your style of mourning is.
That's true, too.
You don't have to be the loud, high-pitched wailing and screaming. You could be the somber and silently grieving with the silent throat.
Yeah, you can also be hired to be the guy that, like, right in the middle of the funeral, like, goes up and, like, loses their mind and tries to climb in with the body because, some people, like, grieving do that, and then they cart them off. So, like, you'd only have to be there for half the funeral.
Yeah, sure.
Get some good money, man.
Oh, yeah. Have Have you guys ever had a picnic at the gravesite with your loved
Oh
one?
yeah, yeah. That was
No,
something my family used to do a long time ago.
That
never
is
had a
awesome.
picnic at a gravesite.
Yeah, we need to bring some ice milk to my father-in-law. He would probably like that.
I know at Woodland Cemetery, there's this section called the Top of the World where there's like this scenic area built, and like there's like vending machines. Sometimes they have little vendors and stuff there. You can actually eat there.
Gazebo.
Yeah, eat on the gazebo with the picnic tables and stuff.
Where we got our part of our engagement photos done.
Yep. It's also our second date.
Mm-hmm.
No, first
First
date.
date.
That was first date. Yep.
That is one heck of a first date.
It's a beautiful cemetery, man.
It is.
Lately they're just random things I've been doing to get talk Josh into leaving the house on Saturdays
Yeah.
before it got colder. It's like, hey, let's go walk around the local cemeteries and take pictures. Hey, I think we found more of your family. I didn't know they died. Oh,
Well, that's right.
yeah, that's a great way to find out about your aunt.
That it is. That it is, man.
So, Raz, how did your Saturday night go at the haunt? Was it any better than Friday?
Yeah, it was a little bit busier. We brought out the gel blasters, like customers, shoot monsters and stuff. That's always a good time. The Grinch breakfast went really, really well though. So yeah, that was nice.
That's good.
Dude, I forgot to see if you had time to do the book
So
when you
I put Beetlejuice on, and then a lot of shit at the haunt happened, and I just ended up taking it right back off.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I ended up not even being able to act on Friday, and then there was shit Saturday, so I didn't get to act Saturday either. I just did my normal stuff. So for
Okay.
Saturday, at least I got to go through and shoot actors with a gun. So gel blaster. Let me be specific about that. It's a gun that shoots like those little Orby things.
You especially were harsh on the ones that were given.
Oh yeah, the troubled actors got the full automatic.
Okay. So hopefully in the future we can make time for the Beetlejuice voice and the book.
Yeah. The voice I can do anytime. Definitely.
Okay. Cool. We must make time for that because
Yes.
I promised a little girl she could have it, and that would make the world better.
Yes.
That smile. Because you've already made her happy so far once this year. Well,
Yeah.
once this recently. That was amazing.
And that'll be an annual thing too.
So, yes. I have utterly no idea what we should talk about. I have the usual list of insanity, but
I had a weird week.
I was gonna ask Raz, since Scare Factor came through Friday night, did they say what they were going to do with the video that they took? Because I know that they recorded the whole walkthrough. Did they mention that?
Posted pictures.
They've already posted a lot of pictures. They're actually going to be. They're working on editing the video now, and they're going to put the video out.
Okay, cool.
And as soon as we do, I'm going to make sure everybody that was there that night gets the link to it.
I'll have to go look for it.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
I'll make sure. I'll just message it to you, man, as soon as they put it out.
All right. Excellent.
But yeah, what was it? Wednesday.
Wednesday night, yeah.
Wednesday night, we got into a car accident. That was not much fun. The car is not in great shape, but it's not totaled. We're still waiting for them to come pick it up and do the the adjuster to show up, all that crap. We're already seeing doctors, have a lawyer, all that stuff. But it's each day you get up and there's more and more and more pain, and then you realize the things that hurt that did not hurt at first. So there's that.
oh yeah.
It's been tough, and no car, and we're not in haunt season, so it's hard to get anywhere to do anything or get anything you need, and really bad timing. Just everything was really, really bad timing, like worse than usual. So that's been a big challenge for us lately.
So you need a Christmas miracle as much as anybody else.
I don't believe in Christmas or miracles, so we'll just deal with it and figure it out.
Okay, I'll just be happy if no angels show up and do anything like the stupidest angel did.
Oh no, that would be great. That would be fun because I'm
That would
pretty
be
sure we'd
hilarious.
survive a zombie apocalypse in the haunt. Because that was a small zombie apocalypse too. That was like a small town. So like that number of zombies we could definitely handle.
Like we could barricade most of that shit off.
Yeah. There's only a couple ways to get into the haunt. They're easily barricadable. Only 2 have any kind of glass whatsoever, and we got so much building supplies and stuff down here.
That
It would definitely work.
be-
And we could raid the dollar store upstairs.
Oh yeah. There's the whole shopping center over here with the supplies and food and
You still kind of have to go out of the haunt to go raid those stores, but I mean,
yes and no.
if you're smart about it, I mean, there's ways you could do it.
Most of the this whole side that we're on, actually, there are other ways through that people don't know about, and walls that can be safely removed to give you access into other areas.
Hidden wall.
Yes, and we know where all those are. So we would only have to leave if we needed to go to the other side, and the other side doesn't really have much in the way of useful stuff. Like there's a haircut place over there, a couple little things.
There's the new home goods store that has
We'd raid if we had to leave, we'd raid the home goods store first, probably. But
Yeah.
there's a couple things on the other side. But on this side is where like all the good, important stuff is.
This side has the dollar store, which has food stuff.
It's got Aaron's furniture,
And it also has City Trends.
Yeah,
which has
City
food
Trends.
stuff.
Yeah, there's plenty of stuff over here. We'd survive for a while.
Well, there you go.
There's a lot of fast foods like up and down the street, like a lot of restaurants over here. We're not that far from the base either, so
Yeah, I'm not touching the base during a zombie
Oh
apocalypse.
no.
That base is probably where it would originate from.
Yeah, and they would draw all the attention anyway. So
Exactly. We'd be quiet down here.
yeah.
Just tell the zombies to go to the base. Leave us alone.
I mean, all the gunfire over there, that's gonna draw them all in, man.
And we have so many weapons that we could use.
Yeah, we have so many like perfect for zombie killing type weapons.
Oh my god, that big ass machete that I got this year.
Yeah. A lot of poles we could put knives at the end of or sharp points on and just get that pop through the eye into the brain, like simple shit like that.
That would
Even
be fun.
taking the handyman hook onto the
Yeah. Power tool stuff to build. I mean, we're good.
We never thought about surviving a zombie apocalypse here, but we could survive a zombie apocalypse here.
Yep.
Yeah. It is Christmas time. That did happen in the book. That's you and the book and the Christmas in the book is what bring it back to the forward part of my mind. And then I found out there were more in that series. That was book 3.
Yeah, that was the Pine Cove series for Christopher Moore. He's a hell of a writer, man. He's got a lot of books outside of Pine Cove that are good too, but I'm very, very fond of the Pine Cove series.
Practical Demon Keeping was fun too.
That's such a good one, man. And I love the HP's Cafe.
Oh yeah. Huh.
Have you read the vampire series he does? That's not in Pine Cove.
No, I've only read 2 books so far, and
Okay.
Carpet Diem, random book that came up in my feed, is very funny so far.
Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. Bloodsucking Fiends is the first of the vampire books. One of them is called You Suck. I forget what the third one is, but yeah, there's 3 of those that are absolutely hilarious, man.
Okay.
A giant, fat, fucking vampire cat named Chet. For some reason.
That sounds like fun. I am definitely going to have to keep reading through his stuff.
Yep, they've got the Lust Lizard of Melancholy Cove, Island of the Sequined Nuns. There's a lot of good books in there, man. Lots of good ones.
I've been bouncing through LD Sour's stuff and the Cackleberry Club series.
Nice. I'm reading a lot of Amanda Lee right now in her Grim Reaper series, the Icing Grimlock series. They're romance, cozy mystery, paranormal type stuff.
that one author, the surviving in the one who owned the one who did the series about owning a camp and having to deal with all the things in the woods.
Oh, How to Survive Camping. I love that, man.
I have figured out why all the stuff has been taken down. She is going to put it all out in actual book form again,
Yep. Mhm.
and then we can all get it that way. I'm looking forward to that.
Yep. And she just finished wrapping up the other series, which is a tie-in series. Man, How to Survive School, maybe? It's one of the characters in college,
Oh, okay.
also on the Reddit. The No Sleep podcast actually does, I think, all the stories from book one a couple seasons ago. They did all the ones from book one or series one. Goat Valley Campground. That's such a fucking, that's a good story overall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was like whole season. They did like one story per episode.
Yep. And apparently they may be doing more in the future.
Yeah.
I hope so.
And the No Sleep version is actually, there's a lot of things that are different. And the well, not the No Sleep subreddits, but the No Sleep podcast. There's a lot of differences that are pretty cool.
Okay. Definitely shall have to check that out.
Oh yeah.
Boy, I have been trying to get more of the fake horse stuff done, but actually read some of the other books that I enjoy trying to get to go through those series.
Mm-hmm. I think I have like, let's see, 6 days left to finish my 6 days left to finish my spicy horror romance story.
Good luck with that. How's it
Yeah,
going?
it's going interesting so far. My concept changed a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit on how it was going to end up going. But I actually like it more now. Like the concept is even better now than it was. So
That's good.
Isn't today the release date for Honesty in Verse?
I have utterly no idea, to be honest.
I thought it
It's
was
very
December
good
15th.
possibility. Cindy took a lot of things over, and I have just been letting her do the thing. And it may be our release date for Honesty in Verse.
I
I'll
look it up
find
on a
out.
Bible. That's awesome.
I'm in the process. Excuse me.
For Christmas, I rated Dollar Sound for the night that Ron was there and for the Christmas night. The Christmas night was awesome because I got both albums of the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society, the Christmas carols, and that was what was
Ooh.
playing in every speaker in the entire haunt all night. It was fantastic. I think the night Ron was there, I need to look up who did these videos. I just can't remember right now. These guys basically got the original VHS recordings of pretty much any horror theme you can think of, including like B horror from back in like the 80s. And they got the like with the VHS static behind them and everything, and they turned it into dark synthwave, and that's what was playing throughout the whole haunt.
Yeah, I like the soundtrack that you had Friday night.
It was pretty cool, man. It was pretty cool. I've also been working a lot with our sound system to make our sounds better, and just lots of tooling around. And Sean's got some really good ideas to make the sound even better for next year, so I'm excited about that. And Ron whipped me twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Not that I think you felt it.
I didn't.
You didn't react at all.
No. You're one of the rare people that have seen my non-reactions to things that I should react to in person.
It just felt like you had a lot of padding back there.
I didn't though. Thin ass pants, and I literally have no ass. So
that's probably why you didn't feel it. You have no ass.
Yeah.
I thought you would have felt it over all the other pain you were already in anyway.
Oh yeah, there was nothing would be broken through that shit, man. Walking is really hard right now.
Scare Factor played along though. They were really fun when they came through that scene.
Hell yeah. They seem like they had a good time overall, man.
They volunteered. Made me happy.
Nice. It was good to have a really positive experience with them this time around. So like it was really cool to have them out. They really enjoyed it. We really enjoyed them. It was a good time, man.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to be curious to see this video.
Yeah, I think it'll be good, man. We had most of our spots covered. There's only a few empty spots here and there because the holidays is tough. We probably have more actors than most haunts that do holiday stuff, but still, as big as our haunt is, you're always gonna have a couple rooms that are just empty.
Mm-hmm. I know Angela and Dee had a good time.
Oh yeah, they came out and did clowns for us on Saturday.
I don't know where Maya was, so I don't know what her act or anything was. What she was doing.
Maya's was with Dee and Angela on Friday. She killed it, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, they were all together up there. They were in the whole like front of Main Street.
Okay. That's cool.
And Sebastian's Candyman was like, holy shit, amazing, dude. We found that we had a two-way mirror we didn't realize we had and mounted it in this area that you walked through it. So you walked through this spot and it was completely empty and you come around. And then Matt, was instructing everyone to say Candyman 5 times into this mirror. And you say it and this light kicks in and suddenly the space you just previously walked through before has Candyman in it staring at you through the two-way mirror. And you are losing your shit and you go to leave and Candyman is right there. You go to turn around and exit, Candyman comes out and gets you again. Fred ran out of his own haunt. Sebastian scared the shit out of him. Yeah. Oh yeah, he ran straight into Nick. Yeah, into Twitchy. He literally dipped out on the haunt. He was like, nope, I'm done for tonight. They got him good, man.
One thing
and he loved it.
Fred.
Yeah, Candyman is the one thing that terrifies Fred, but it's also his favorite thing ever. So he did Candyman justice. Sebastian did, man. Like I was proud of that. Everybody did everything justice that we were doing that night, man. To be honest.
Yeah, that dude that played Beetlejuice, though. He sucked. I don't
he
know
was terrible.
That guy, he's just
the brief appearances that he did.
All right, come on, Jenny. Your face is passive. It's like you're.
He's looking up
at other stuff.
Well, she was gonna look up honesty.
No, I'm just like aggravated.
Why are you aggravated? Don't be aggravated.
Well, Amazon is doing that thing where it's hiding the book.
Oh, that thing where they suck.
Yeah, where the book is there.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, that don't exist here. And I'm like, dude.
It definitely does.
I could have sworn it was releasing today, and today's the 15th, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it did release today.
Okay. Yeah, congratulations.
Well, I mean, don't you normally have the link on Goodreads that'll take it to like Amazon and Barnes and Noble?
Yeah, I'm finding it everywhere but Amazon. I'm going to have to ask Patty about
Sometimes Amazon takes a little bit longer for some reason.
Yeah, Amazon's being a jerk, but I know it's up at all the other places we have published, guys.
Nice.
So, all of our poetry is out for that, and
yes, man.
Zevin.
And the pre-show was badass. And of course, we had Nathan in there too, man. Nathan killed it. He was our Grinch, our bloody Grinch on Friday. Our Christmas with the Grinch. We were all killing it. Nathan was actually in the car accident with me and Michelle. He was in the back seat. We just got done like handing out flyers with him as the Grinch and like craft stores and Walmart and stuff like that.
The Grinch let me spank him too, but I don't think he felt it either because that suit's so padded.
Well, that and also pain.
He hit his head.
Yeah, he hit his knee and his head, man.
But he was wearing the Grinch costume.
He actually was. Yeah, he was wearing the Grinch costume like when it happened. And one of the first things he said to the cops is that he thought it was an assassination attempt, and he said it as the Grinch.
The cops loved it. They thought it was the funniest shit
Yeah.
ever.
Oh boy, man, my bladder is going to be hating me tonight.
Every part of my body hates me.
Well, you should have spanked yours, Ron. I have no doubt.
Somebody
after the
did.
last
Who
car
was it?
wreck I was
Somebody
in,
did
it
spank me,
sucked.
but I don't remember who it was.
Yeah. Well, Ron?
Somebody did spank me, but I don't remember who it was. I know that I think the lady from Scare Factor did. Because
Nora?
I did like 3 of them, and then she turned around and she's like, "Oh, I thought that we got the opportunity to return the favor," or something like. She says something like that. I'm like, "Oh, you?" I'm like, I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. I mean, I'm not gonna do anything to you that I wouldn't, be willing to do myself. So
Hell yeah. That was fun, man. It's always fun to get everybody together. I'm only sad that people won't be together again for haunting until February.
That
it's not
sucks.
that far away, man. I mean, it's literally like 2 months.
Yeah. It
2
feels
months from today.
farther away than it is,
Well, it'll go by really quick because you got Christmas and then New Year's and had his whole ass out the freak show.
Yep.
What? No, I didn't.
Not his whole ass.
I mean, there was it had a thong covering it. Was he talking about with the because I was wearing those red and white striped stockings? There was a thong. The thong song. Thong, the thong, thong, thong. Come on, Jenny, hit us with some of that philosophical insanity that you like to spew out in situations like this.
Okay. What is the brightest thing in the night during Christmas?
Certainly not me. I'm kind of stupid.
Everyone else's Christmas lights.
I was going to say Ron's ass when he goes outside in this weather and his thong.
Yeah, right? That wouldn't surprise me.
It glows like Rudolph's nose.
As white as the fallen snow.
Have fun with
That
it,
would have
guys.
worked better. Oh.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing. Going and looking at everybody's Christmas lights.
Here in nearby city Huber, they do this big it's a game where I don't know, there's like 70, 80, 90 houses or something that participate where you go, you look at their lights, and there's little things that you get and fill out, and you enter yourselves into drawings at all these people's homes and businesses, and it takes hours to do it in one night, so usually you'll do it over a couple nights, but we were really hoping to do it, but the car is down, so probably not gonna get to do it this year. If we do, it'll be when we get the rental. Because getting stoned and looking at lights is like the only part of Christmas I accept.
Yeah, some neighborhoods will do the Christmas light contest, and people can vote on who the best Christmas lights, and then they win like a year's worth of their electric bill being paid.
We don't do the electric bill part, but they do. The whole city does a competition for Halloween home haunts and for Christmas lights in Huber. And there's probably more home haunts in Huber than there are most places.
Well, Winterfest is coming up at Buckeye Lake in January. You can come out and do our pirate outing with us.
Nice.
Do the polar plunge.
I've
I
done one of those
guarantee
before, man. I wouldn't mind doing another one, actually.
once you hit that sub-zero water, you won't feel any pain at all.
It's true. Last time I did it, I jumped in. I was dressed as a zombie. It was for charity. I jumped right in, and I let everybody. I was like, "Oh, you can go ahead of me," because people were like dying trying to get out of this giant pool at the zoo, and it was at this Columbus Zoo actually. And they're like, "Aren't you cold?" I'm like, "Not really, but you are. So go ahead and get up out of here before me." So then I finally get out, and everybody's just like watching me because I'm not even like really reacting to it. But I did eventually finally feel it by the time I went all the way back to the tent where my clothes were. By then I started to feel it like on the inside, and then I started getting a little bit of clothes, a little bit cold. But there were heaters in there, and I changed and like dried up and stuff.
Why did I
Yeah.
see this as Ron?
What's that?
There's some video that I can't show you from a video like that. It won't look right.
Yeah,
She keeps forgetting I'm on a phone and not my computer.
I know. It's wow.
It's a ridiculous video she found online.
What is it?
It's a guy dressed as looks like Mrs. Claus.
And he's got the glitter beard.
He has a glitter beard and all kinds of stuff, and he's like dancing provocatively.
So it's not me.
Yeah.
No.
Switch clothes. You're on. I don't think he's wearing anything under that Mrs. Claus little dress though. It does not look like it.
I don't ever recall dressing up like Mrs. Claus and having a glitter beard and dancing
Yeah.
rock.
Yeah, I know.
She just said for some reason it reminds her of you.
It's something that you would have done.
Yeah, it's definitely something I would have done.
No.
It's hard
I'm
to
an odd
find
bird.
things to do with kids around here during Christmas.
Yeah. I can't get
Back
away
where
from
we
it.
were,
Anymore.
Christmas was always big in my household. I mean, we made a big deal of it when I was a kid, and me and my sister, we got to decorate the house and decorate the tree, and my parents let us go ham on that stuff.
Oh yeah.
And it was a big deal. We played Christmas music and put the cookies and milk out for Santa and all of that. And living in North Carolina, there was always a really good possibility you were going to have a white Christmas anyway.
Yeah.
And I think more often than not, it really was a white Christmas. I mean, there was a couple of years where it was sunny and like 50 degrees outside, and I'm outside in a t-shirt, riding my bike around. But
And that still happens here sometimes too.
yeah, it still happens here. But I haven't really had much of a white Christmas here. Like, it's been cold, but there hasn't really been snow on Christmas.
It's weird because some years we've had like crazy like white Christmas, and then a lot of years it's been rainy and wet.
Yeah. And this year it'll probably be cold, but it'll be sunny. I don't think there's going to be any snow.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, Christmas was a big deal at my house.
And I like snow too, man.
I doubt we're going to get any snow here.
What do you often?
No. It's like 66 degrees here.
Does it ever snow in Texas where you are?
It has 3 times since my oldest kid was born.
Okay.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be rainy Christmas Eve and cloudy Christmas Day.
Yeah. In the 40s or 50s, it looks like.
Yeah, 40s and 50s.
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of memories of Christmas from childhood and, in high school and all that. Going down and visiting relatives over Christmas and staying at their house and all that,
I got memories of doing cool shit, for sure. What I really dislike the most about Christmas is the expectations of Christmas that people have. That has ruined more Christmases for me and people around me than anything else, than any other holiday.
For me, it's not so much the expectation; it's the financial obligation, and it really only started hitting me hard as I became an adult and started making my own money. You know,
Well, I mean,
and
I
then
think
it's
the
like,
expectation goes hand in hand with the financial obligation side of things, really.
yeah, and that's when I'm starting to think. It's the thought that counts should really mean something.
No, it should, man. And people forget you can just make cool things for people. There's a lot of things that you can do.
I plan on getting my cousin a bottle of whiskey or bourbon or something like that for Christmas, and that's probably about all I'm going to be able to get. It's I mean, my family we're doing a vacation to Orlando at the end of January, and I've
Nice,
got
man.
about $1,000 going toward that. So ain't nobody getting nothing for Christmas, and we've all kind of
Yeah.
agreed upon that since we're spending so much money on the trip.
Right. Oh yeah. It's the family time. That and having an experience together is a million times better than just stuff.
Yeah, I mean, my parents live like 2 hours from Orlando, so it's
Yeah.
easy for them to get
Yeah.
there. But we're all going pitching in on the place that we're staying. We all have to pitch in on food,
Yeah.
you know. And my parents, they're both retired. They have a limited income,
Right.
and I've got rent and bills and everything else. So I don't have like a lot of money to put toward the trip. Then I still had to buy my plane ticket to fly down there, and that was close to $400. And
Yeah.
then my nieces are flying in from California, so they got to spend money for theirs. My
Yeah.
sister will probably drive down because she's in North Carolina, so she'll probably drive down. But
Nice.
she's the only one, that would be able to. But even so, you still got the cost of gas and all of
I
that.
like driving down to Florida from Ohio. It's fun.
More basically, we're all spending money on the trip,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. To be together.
yeah, it's not going to be a lot of gifts going around.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that because, like, what the hell do I need?
Yeah. With everything going on for us, we've already all come to the conclusion that we are not having a Christmas. And then my family and I, like my blood related family and I, don't do anything with each other. So
And
Christmas is just another day to me, man. Especially this year more than any other year.
I'm kind of like my dad, where if there's something that I need or something I want, I just freaking go out and buy it. I don't wait for Christmas,
Right.
you know. And then, so really, there's nothing that I need.
Yeah.
I get my own shit.
Yeah. We'll just do hot chocolate and shrooms again.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah,
Yep.
that sounds like a Christmas right there.
Yeah.
Oh, when I can watch all 3 Deadpools this time.
There you go.
That rocks.
That's what we did last year, pretty much, though. I mean, just microdose. We didn't like go crazy or anything, but it was pleasant, you know.
I've just
I will
about got
I will say
everything
there
like
is one thing that I do on Christmas, which is kind of a tradition. Because it's sort of a family thing, and even though I'm not with family, I still sort of uphold it. And that is, don't judge me, but I watch A Christmas Story.
That was a big thing that would be played on repeat on Christmas Day, whereas Christmas
Yeah,
Eve it was National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation on repeat.
that's my
And
sister's movie. I watched that one too. And then my ex-wife, her family tradition was to watch The Ref with Dennis
okay,
Leary.
that's a good one too. I love Dennis Leary though.
That's one of the memories I have from being together with her, is watching The Ref with her family.
Do you like the Christmas Story sequel that came out a couple years ago?
Where Ralphie is an adult and he's trying to write the book.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did like it. I thought that it had a pretty good homage, a pretty good callback.
I enjoyed it too.
I think they did a good job with it.
Yeah. You guys have any traditions, Jenny?
we've adjusted a couple since we got like the Skyrim cookbook. But we are going to make some treats, and we have all our favorite foods with the ham, and I usually try to find them an indies kid book to get. This year, it was the number book that I posted. I can't remember the name. I'm brain dead by the end of this day. I've so far I'm looking forward to the cookies and the pies and stuff. I've found that Nord Spice is so much better than pumpkin spice.
Mm.
If we do any Christmas cookies, they'll probably be infused at this point.
I would love infused cookies.
You know, on the bright
Verbally,
side, we went to Michigan before the accident, so things could be worse.
verbally infused and chronically bemused.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to the movies and the random stuff. Need to find out what cookies they want us to cook this time around, because we're getting to the week of the cookies.
I'll probably pick up all the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies again, especially with the new Legacy sequel / remake that they're being very confusing about that's coming out next year.
I watched one earlier today. It was called Christmas Bloody Christmas.
Okay, yeah.
And I wasn't thrilled with it.
Yeah, it's not fantastic. There's a lot of other way better horror Christmases, man. A lot of them. Like Violent Night actually is really good if you haven't seen that one.
This one was an animatronic Santa that malfunctions and starts going around killing everybody.
Yep.
And when they finally, rip the skin off, it looks almost exactly like the Terminator.
Yep. You've seen the Bill Goldberg horror Christmas, right? Santa's
Yeah.
Slave. That's
Yeah.
a classic.
Yeah, I like that one. See, that one was pretty
That was
decent.
fun. That's actually where he met his wife. She was the
I
stripper that was on the
watched,
swing in that movie.
I watched Red One the other day.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's The Rock.
Yeah.
It's a rock movie.
I want to see the one with Jack Black where he's Satan instead of Santa, and like the kids
Yeah.
mix up and like I guess put him a
Lucky
letter.
said it was horrible.
He's hard on movies though.
He said he thought Jack Black could make it good. Not even Jack Black
Yeah.
could make it good.
I might like it still though.
That one's on Paramount, and I just don't want to have to pay for it.
Yeah.
I don't have Paramount.
I think I'm on my buddy's Paramount still.
I'm
Well,
sure
technically our Paramount that he pays for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure I can find it streaming on other platforms if I look.
Oh yeah.
I did finish Amityville Theater for tomorrow night.
I'm gonna watch it tonight or tomorrow, early tomorrow probably.
I'll reserve comments.
It was
So we're
better
not
than I
having it
expected.
too early.
But
Better
I
than you.
wanted to stab a character in the eye.
Uh-huh.
You
You're
did too?
talking about Kyle, right?
Yep.
Le Duché.
Hey, you care.
God, he was really annoying throughout the entire movie.
We got to have a couple annoying people, man. Like one hardcore annoying person. That way we can cheer when they die. They're more invested in their death.
Not to get into all the shit that we're going to be discussing about it tomorrow night, but there's really only two characters in that movie that didn't annoy me.
Oh,
That's good.
And
Good if there were any characters that didn't annoy you. You got to want people to die. Like that's part of the enjoyment of a good horror movie, or a fun horror movie at least.
The lead girl, Fawn, she was one of them. Didn't really annoy me as much as the other characters. Okay. And then the professor guy that was doing all the research, because he's sort of seen intermittently, but he doesn't have like a lot of dialogue. So he didn't really annoy me all that much. He kind of reminded me of Anthony Head.
Nice. I love him. And that's what you gotta do that though, man. You gotta have like one character that's like a sad death, that you're into, and like, oh man, I wish they hadn't died. Then you gotta feel for the final girl or the final guy in some situations. Like that's really important. Everyone else should be different degrees of annoying or something stupid about their personality to make you cheer when they die.
Franklin, Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, like Franklin, Texas Chainsaw. He does nothing but whine that whole damn movie. So when he dies, you're like, yes, he's quiet.
It's so bad that you cheer for somebody in a wheelchair to die.
Yeah, but he's got to be the most annoying character in any movie of all time.
Well, I don't really want to spoil Amityville Theater for you.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
I'll just say, there really isn't a final girl.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to explain. I mean, it's actually easy to explain. It's hard to do it without spoiling it.
Yeah. We'll definitely talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you.
And then the one random character that they never explain whatsoever.
Yeah. You guys want to see something hilarious in my car? I keep forgetting I have it.
Oh God, what?
Can you see this?
Yeah.
That is
an air freshener?
That is a DJ Jazzy Jeff air freshener because it was him, Paul Abdul, and New Kids on the Block at that one concert we went to. And,
My birthday.
We got a DJ Jazzy Jeff air freshener. I don't remember why, but we got one.
Because it's the kind of thing that you need.
Yeah.
DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah.
It'll make your car smell like Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
I never thought I would ever hear the Monkees played by DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah, he actually played the Monkees too. In Nirvana, yeah. Part of his set. I was impressed. He had a good set.
Well, he just used like the record with the music on it to spin it or scratch it or something.
Yeah. He was pretty much.
Okay.
I have Hello Kitty, superhero Hello Kitty, hanging by her neck from the rearview mirror.
Blech.
The only way I could get her to hang, because Cassie was adamant that she hang from the rearview mirror.
Nice. That's awesome.
I have Metallica drumsticks.
Well, yeah. The large sticks.
Yep. They have the acrylic nylon heads with the plastic tips.
Oh, nice.
And these are back weighted on the end.
Okay.
So when you're drumming, they have a quicker rebound up because they're weighted on the backside.
Right. That's nice.
It's a good way to do it.
I'm in Germany, man.
They have a sleeve that covers the stick, which is like it's not going to chip or splinter or anything like that. And once the sleeve gets all chewed up, these are replaceable.
Oh, that's cool as hell.
Yeah. I haven't had to do it yet because I hardly ever use these sticks. And to be honest, I'm not entirely certain how to replace them anyway. I think you have to go somewhere because there's some certain process that they go through to slide the sleeve on and then like shrink it down so that it conforms to the stick.
Okay.
But I don't know how they do it. And obviously, I mean, I don't have the tools.
It's probably just a heat shrink, man. You probably just get it, slide it on yourself, and use a hair dryer to heat shrink it. That's what a lot of those are for the drumsticks.
Yeah, I don't use these very much to play because I really don't want to mess them up. I think they're cool sticks.
Fair enough.
I use them to practice though. I got my practice pad.
Oh yeah, I miss drumming, man. One of my earlier bands I was the drummer of before my sister ran over my hand and parked on it on accident because she panicked. Crushed my fucking hand. Ended up selling those drums. I love those. The Pearl Export Series, Burgundy Mist Color, man. I had the Rock and Sock fucking drummer throne. It was a gorgeous fucking set. My body just can't do it anymore.
Mine still can. I just don't practice very often. I'm slacker. I slack at everything. I'm very good at slacking. I should be a professional slacker. Just people won't pay me to do it.
Man, my boy Elijah really surprised me in the haunt. I think it was Friday night. I walked into the fog room in the circus, and he was playing Freak at full fucking volume, the whole album on Friday night. So you walked in, I walked in, I was like, looked at him, I was like, why am I singing right now? He's like, oh, because I got your album up on Spotify. I'm like, fuck yeah.
I pulled up that playlist.
It was so random.
She's a slacker right now too, slacking on everything.
She's slacking so hard she's not even in this show
I
right
know.
now.
What's up with that?
Man.
We'll have to rename the show to Padded Slack.
Yeah, padded slackers.
Slacking cell. Slackers cell.
Yeah, slackers cell. Hey, and it works because the scene he was acting in on Friday was the padded cell room.
That worked. Unfortunately, you can't change it at this point of the show.
But I can change it in my heart.
Yeah, well,
So you can.
she got her
still click
latte.
delete.
This is a drop-in, drop-out show, man. It's padded cell. You come and go when you please.
Yes, the link's in the chat. I know it's there. I put it there.
Yes. I clicked on it. So it's definitely there.
I clicked on it, and here I am.
It's magic.
For better or for worse. In sickness and in health.
In Santa and an elf.
Yeah.
Well, I know we've all said those vows at one point or another in our life.
Yeah. Twice.
Once.
I'm sure there'll be 10 or so more before it's all over. I'm joking.
Say that with Michelle sitting
There
right
she
there.
is.
Oh, no, she's already inside. I joke about that all the time. I'm not serious about it.
Oh, there she is.
Blah blah blah.
Blah, blah,
Slacking off with Mariah Lynn.
Yo, I've been doing a lot of that today.
So my kid was like, wait a minute, that sounds like Mariah. Yes, it's Mariah. Can I follow her on my Twitch? Yes.
It's Mariah Scary.
Completely followed by her dog.
Oh, she cut out.
Yep.
Completely followed by her silence.
Spent like 20 minutes dropping F-bombs. It was fine.
Only
Yeah,
20
well,
minutes.
she's used to it. She's heard me say worse. She's probably heard me scream worse because I've gotten that aggravated.
Yeah, them zombies.
What are you playing? You playing Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You
I
need to-
started
you
by
need to-
playing Prop Hunt.
Okay, that prop hunt's fun as fuck.
Like, I've never played Call of Duty all this time, 20 plus years.
Yeah.
Josh is like, come play with us. We need another person. And I was like really reticent. And then he goes, hey, zombies. And I was like, oh, damn it. Okay, fine. So I started playing Liberty Falls and all that with him. But there's like a group of us from work that started getting together to play. And they're like, hey, check this out. We started playing Prop Hunt. That amuses me for some reason. I don't know why.
As much as I like watching the prop hunt in that one, I actually like watching and playing the one in Fortnite more.
I have not seen the one in Fortnite, I'll be honest.
You got like a whole mall, man. It's awesome. Like there's so many places, and there's this one cool spot because it's just like that prop. Like you get on the item and you press it and you become that item. We would find the smallest thing we could do, then go into the movie theater, jump up into the back of the movie theater and on the projector, and like you almost never get found in the
Like my personal best so far was it put us in the stakeout map.
Okay.
And I don't know how it works in Fortnite, but in Call of Duty, you start as an object and you only get to change twice.
Yeah.
But I started as a little black fucking TV. And like I rolled up into the warehouse and found a corner behind a door with a black shadow, and I just sat there. I was like, nope, not today.
I saw one the other day from Call of Duty where someone was a wall, like a wooden piece of fence, and it fit perfectly somewhere. So they had 4 people that were like barrels or something behind the wall, and the person is the wall, and no one found it.
Nice. I think the best one that I saw, and I think it was on stream, I'm not sure, was Josh, because we went into the map that's like the storefronts and all.
Okay.
And the item that he got was that order screen
Okay.
from the freaking drive-through.
Yeah.
He did. He just went and slid right into the drive-through, and I watched them walk by him so many times. I was like, how do you not see him?
In Fortnite, you're a person, and you can switch back and forth between a person and run around and hide again. It's like you can become an unlimited number of things, like all through the mall and all the stores. And you can crawl into the ducks. I mean, all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, the Call of Duty props are kind of stupid, especially because they only give you like 2 changes per round.
Yeah.
Like you'll go from being something ridiculous that you know doesn't fit, like a fax machine, to a car, and I'm just sitting here going, "This makes sense. Why?"
Oh yeah, it's fun to like know that someone's coming and like. If like your little race car, because the race car will like drive around a little bit, like you can make it move. But if you're like a trash can, you're just jumping around the mall. Like you just jump around the mall. I did a teddy bear once, and I just started jumping around the toy store and like flipping out. And in mid jump, the guy was just about to come and grab me, and I turned to a person and ran away. I ran into a duck as fast as I possibly fucking could, then changed to something else right by the exit of the duck. Like, it was like a plant or something, but it looked like it was placed perfectly where it would be in the mall. So they just came out of the duck and just kept going.
Yeah, I like prop hunt, but I can only do it for so long because I start getting irritated about certain things.
Yeah.
So
I think
then,
like it more in Fortnite though.
So then we turned around and we went to play zombies, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna go shoot zombies till I have to go to work. And that was an hour and a half of me running around going, oh no, fuck no, not today. No.
Not today, Satan.
Yeah. It was interesting. I definitely enjoy zombies. That's where I'm doing a lot of my leveling because I'll, you know me, I have a zombie fixation, so I'll just go in there and shoot zombies
not
all day.
you.
No, not ever. It's horrible.
I just keep endlessly playing Slay the Spire. That's a lot of what I've been playing lately because it's a game that I don't really have to pay a ton of attention to, like all the time. I can just kind of zone out while I'm doing their shit.
I think I've heard you talk about it before.
It's fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's okay. When I've been at work, I've been listening to No Sleep podcast
It's
at
a great
work,
podcast.
and I'll sit there and I'll literally look at somebody and go, "Shut up! Why? Shut up! Listening to something."
Oh yeah, man. I definitely have a lot of favorites from that show.
Well, a couple of them have freaked me out. It's like I said, it gives me plenty of ideas. I just don't know how to write them. So.
Right. But what you got to tell me something that freaked you out though, because I know every story on that show up to a certain point. I've listened to everything. I subscribe to it, so like I literally hear everything. But I think up to season 17, I've heard like a million times.
Okay, so season 1, episode 12, that was the one that I felt the need to text you about. Okay. That one is, or actually, I think it's 11 because I think 12 came after. But from season 1, Correspondence.
Okay, dude, I gotta tell you, that's not even all of Correspondence. That's just a piece of it. That Correspondence is still going on many years later.
Like, I assume so because, I mean, I'm assuming that's just the first one. But the way that it's done, like, that is an unlimited string.
Dude, like, they go pretty far, like with the original version of it with the podcast. They never went back and like did any more of it, but because it's something that's still ongoing today. Like that thing has been going for like 10 years plus. Like it's random too. Like sometimes you'll go a year without anything else, and something will pop up and get an alert. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I gotta go read it now. It's a really Correspondence is a really good one. Season 1. Oh yeah. Butcherface is also good.
Butcherface, like
It's one of mine and Dell's favorite.
Butcherface was. I'm gonna tell you, I like it, but when it finished, when that particular episode finished, I feel like it's not done.
So there was a little bit more to it that didn't end up making it into the cut because you had to change some things to be an audio production. But like when it was originally on the Reddit, there was links you had to click on, pictures and videos you could watch as you were going through it. Like it was a journey, man.
Like I really liked the story, but it just felt undone, at least to me. Like I get other people might not think of it that way, but for me, it felt like it wasn't done.
Pretty soon you're going to be coming up on one of the best things to ever come out of No Sleep with Nathan Auerbach stuff. Balloon boxes.
No, they did balloon and boxes.
Okay.
That was the Halloween episode. I want to say that was episode 9 or 10. Right.
They do more of it in the next season though. Like they do all of it.
Like that particular one, they did. It was a Halloween episode, and they did balloons, boxes, and there was another one that took place like when he was younger.
Yeah.
So the one where he was in the woods?
Yep.
So it was those 3, and they said it was a 2-parter.
Yep.
But because I'm listening on Spotify and I have a subscription, I think they split it up.
Yep.
So I'm waiting to get to the second part because the second part is supposed to be another 3 stories.
Mm-hmm. It's really good, man. I've actually used that in multiple graduate classes, like to dissect and to discuss.
Yeah, it's I will say that the first episode kind of, I was like, are you fucking for real right now? That was the one with the guy that was the security guard at the college.
Dude had keys to everywhere, so he went to discover the entire place.
Yeah. So that one was where I initially said, I sent you a message. I said, are they all like this?
Yeah.
Because
that was a good one.
Yeah, I did go back and listen to it, and I realized that part of the reason that it like stuck so well was that wasn't just a podcast. They were using soundboards and all for sound cues.
Oh yeah.
And that was really well done. Like
basically
really
the entire show is an audio drama. They produce every story like an audio drama.
Yeah.
That's how it originally started out because the first 2 seasons are basically David Cummings reading all of the stories.
The majority of the stories, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't really start doing the audio dramas until about season 3 or 4.
Well, I'm late to the party because
he still did music and some sound effects. It just wasn't near as good until he got Brandon Boone doing everything in the background. Yeah,
started adding all of the music and making.
And Brandon's from Cincinnati.
And now they have a whole litany of voice actors. I mean, that.
Oh, just you wait. Just you wait. There's a number you're gonna fall in love with.
Yeah, I like Atticus Jackson's voice. I think he's he's really good at doing like old people and like young stoner type people. And I really, really, really love Kristen DiMercurio's voice. I mean,
great too. I like Nicole Goodnight a lot.
I follow Kristen DiMercurio on TikTok.
Yeah.
And apart from just being one phenomenally beautiful lady, and she's got this crystal voice. She's has done voice dubs for like Bluetooth and like the operator voice. and the GPS in your car. She's done things like that.
Yep.
Her voice, people have probably heard it. They don't even realize it. But just the sound of her voice and just her phenomenal good looks, it's just like, God damn, you fall in love with this girl.
Dude.
And then,
There's one girl though, and I don't know if she's going to be in the later seasons, but I really kind of hope she's not. Like her voice, I want to say it's Christina Shorts.
No, she's not around much. I think you'll hear her a little bit in season 2, and then not much past that.
Like I cannot stand when she reads.
Well, you have to understand, in season 1 and 2, that no one was paid for anything, so it was just random people volunteering to do stuff.
But while I understand that, I do. I do understand that there is something. You know how I am. I'm very. When it comes to sound, I'm very audio inclined.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Like, I had some trouble with her and another person in the early seasons. I mean, great people, talented people. It just, for some reason, it didn't hit me well. But when you hit 3, man, that's because seasons 1 and 2 have always been free. 3 on is what's paid. And if you actually do the subscription, you get to join their Discord and actually talk to the narrators and the writers and David's in there sometimes. And
you can also follow them on YouTube, because every now and then they'll do live readings. They actually do shows and stream it on YouTube.
Yep.
So you get to see the people as they're reading it. I've watched a couple of those as well. And
they used to do live for us,
these
too.
voices and coming up with what you think these people look like, and then find out that you're completely wrong.
Mm-hmm. And also, you get access to a lot of stuff, not just the normal stuff. They do a lot of extra content besides the normal episodes for subscribers that are fucking epic. Like, sometimes they'll even do, like, I know David's done a gag reel before, and that made me laugh so hard I was in tears. And every time I get to that one, I listen to it over and over.
No, you see, and here, this is going to sound horrible because I'm sitting here listening to that podcast and I hear him reading this stuff and I'm like, why do I know this voice? Like, what is he from? Other than No Sleep.
Well, I mean, he's been a writer for a while. He's done a lot of his own stuff and published it. In fact, he had he wrote well, I guess it was supposed to be serial, but he did do one show for the BBC.
Yeah. BBC Canada.
That could be it.
He wrote it, but he wasn't in it.
Yeah.
And now he's executive producing a show called Tales from the Void, which is on not Screenbox. It's on Screenbox. Tales from the Void. He's executive producer. They are taking certain short stories that have been really successful on No Sleep podcast and turning them into movie shorts and putting them out on Tales from the Void. And then at the end of each episode, David Cummings will come on and he'll actually interview the person that wrote that story.
It's amazing, man. And it's weird because I've made friends with some of the writers, some of the narrators and stuff like that. And the ones I talk to probably the most often, and still not as often as I would like, are probably Man in Lysette and Lisa Jones. Like, they're really good people, man, that I adore. Completely adore.
And you'll find, Mariah, as they get on into later seasons, that the cast will start becoming more solid, and it will be the same readers pretty much in every episode. It'll be like David Alt. He's got this amazing British voice. Mike Delgadio.
Yeah.
Kristen DiMercurio, like I said, but she's not there all the time. Peter, what's his last name? Peter.
I know, my brain just died. He's my favorite of the male voices because he's fucking insane, and I love him so much.
He's so good at like doing a variety of like different emotional
he's always like the extra creepy one out of everybody. They're always commenting on it too. Like, even in the Discord, they're always commenting on it and stuff.
Well, I can't remember who read correspondence. I know it was more than one of them.
Yeah.
But the one who did Chris. I want to say it's Chris.
He's not around anymore.
I want to say it was Chris.
In the later episodes, one of the things that they did was they had a tour. a live tour, where they would be on stage and they would be sitting there up on stage and they would do live readings. So, and then the whole entire episode is their live reading from that particular tour. But in between the stories, or like in the intro of the show, they build up, and because they talk about traveling around on the road and things like that, and
Into
it's
their
really
introductions.
funny. It's really funny to hear their interactions. I mean, I know it's all scripted, but it's funny as hell because you kind of get to learn a little bit about their character.
It breaks my heart because I was trying to get tickets to multiple different tours, and every time something bad would happen in Felter, now they're not doing the tours anymore. But what they're gonna start doing, according to David and some of the other people, is they're gonna start doing conventions, like actually going to big like horror conventions and like storytelling conventions, and they'll do shows like live shows at conventions. That's something they're leaning towards, I think, starting next year.
I mean, it's good to do that, especially if they're going city to city, because all of the voice actors are spread out across
All over the world.
all over the world,
Yeah.
So no matter where they go, they're probably going to be within stone's throw of somebody that has done voice acting on No Sleep.
Oh yeah, man. It's a really great show. It's the only podcast that I've ever actually long-term paid to subscribe to. Now I do subscribe on and off too, as well, to Chilling Tales for Dark Nights, of course. But
Well, for me, I'm finally kind of throwing myself into the literary part of my life.
yeah,
Like I know that sounds stupid considering I write, but like
no,
even
you're increasing your literary citizenship.
yeah,
That's called.
okay, yeah, that works. And like, well, and I mean, like the more I listen to the No Sleep podcast, the more I was like, so how do you submit a story?
And it's crazy to me because like when that podcast first started, I was obsessed with it and posting stories and like trying to tell you and Jason like, oh my god, you guys got to get into this. You guys got to get into this. And then Jason did, but it took him like a year or two. And like then you're just now coming around to it so many years later. It's like, man, finally I can talk to her about No Sleep.
Well,
Yeah.
back when it first started, you could post your story in the No Sleep subreddit, and
You still can.
if it got a lot of upvotes, then there was a better possibility it would get used on the podcast. But they don't do that as much anymore. Now you have to submit the story through email, and somebody will read it. You don't know who is going to read it, but somebody will read it, and then they will respond back whether or not they will use your story. If they use it, you get paid. But
So I know a lot of the background stuff, and I won't get into it, but there was actually a falling out, and he separated from the podcast or from the Reddit very early on, like completely. And it's been that way for many seasons. Because it also used to be there's another Reddit called No Sleep Teams, where a bunch of writers would get together and we would all challenge each other and like compete in like a little tournament for our stories. And I've done a number of those too. And it used to be the winner of those would always also get read.
Yeah. Again, it's something I'm falling into, and it's kind of funny because I've been listening to this so obsessively. So part of what I did today was my mom and Christmas. My mom loves Christmas. Always loves Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, last year I was so busy at Christmas, I never got a chance to drive her around to go see Christmas lights because that's one of her favorite things to do. So when it got dark, I went and took her out tonight, and we drove around so she could see the Christmas lights here in town.
And did you listen to Christmas episodes?
Well, no, because we got in the car, and I'm listening to No Sleep, and the first thing that jumps through the speakers is somebody dropping onto their hands and knees like a spider and blah. And my mom's like, "What are you listening to?" I'm like, never mind, Mom.
that ain't none of your concern.
Yeah, because my mom doesn't do. Okay, my mom does not do horror. My mom does not do dark unless she's talking to Raz.
Yeah, oddly enough, yes, that is very true.
Like, nope. My mom is like, my mom, if she could run around the world in a pink tutu, spewing rainbow glitter, saying she's a unicorn and have a cupcake, she would.
She once asked me why I don't write nice, pretty things, and I was like, because I don't have a nice, pretty life. And she's like, good point. Her response is good point.
So, Mariah, you haven't gotten the Smile Dog yet?
No, not yet.
Oh,
Not yet. Again, I'm listening to it when I can at work. Typically that's anytime after 10 o'clock.
yeah.
So 10 to close, and then I'm listening to it in my car, bar having my godson, because he repeats everything he hears right now.
Oh yeah. And there's certain stories that I know I'm just waiting for her to get to because I know she's going to message me about. I know it for a fucking fact. Like, Ron, you remember the M Club?
M Club?
Yeah, it was like Sesame Street type of thing. It's like
Oh, the
season
one with
1,
the
day 3.
puppets?
Yeah.
Where she's auditioning, like she's going into audition to be on the puppet show?
No, that's a different one. That one's awesome too. The M Club is like the kids watching at home, and there's like a club for the show, and they're all obsessed with the show. And I can't say anything more than that because, yeah.
Yeah, no spoilers. It's fine. It's fine. No,
The showers, when she gets the showers, she's gonna love that one. That's one of my favorites.
like right now, I think I'm close to the end of season 1.
Yeah, you should be about done with it.
Because it looked like it only had like 13, 14 episodes.
Yeah.
So I'm close.
As they get later on, they have 25 episodes per season.
Yep.
And each episode is roughly about an hour and a half.
Oh,
If
no.
you have the paid subscription, it's usually like 2 to 3 hours.
Actually, the free ones have gotten shorter as they've gone on. Sometimes it's only 45 to 50 minutes.
Well, I'm going to tell you this.
There's usually 3 stories depending on the length of the story.
Well, yeah.
Season 1, I think the longest one was the Halloween episode, and that was like 49 minutes.
Yeah. The season 1 and season 2 is a little bit longer episodes.
Okay.
And then season 3 is when it starts being, the really long episodes, but the free is only, again, about as long as the old episodes were.
There will be some where they will give you the subscription episode, the paid episode for free, and those episodes are usually between 2 and 4 hours.
Yeah, every
like
Halloween they have a bonus Halloween episode. They do 2 Halloween shows, one for subscribers, one for non-subscribers. That are, and you'll get the non-subscriber one is a full-length one for that, and they usually do one for Christmas also.
And then you'll get into Sleepless Decompositions.
Eventually, yeah. What's that one start on like season 13 or 14? I think is when Sleepless Decomposition starts.
The decompositions are their breaks between seasons.
Yeah,
where they put out all of the stories that don't make like the regular episode for one reason or another, because they're usually incredibly disturbing.
Well, and
sexual too. Like there's a lot of sexual content in some of them too. Yeah.
Well, I know this is going to sound really horrible because I'm only in season 1, but you can already tell where the divide is and where they pulled the stories from. Because like anything that came off the No Sleep Reddit, because of the community guidelines they had for it, they're kind of very tame.
I promise you that's because there's one in particular that I can think of that you're about to hit very soon that's going to change your mind about that, and even more in season 2.
Like it seems like, well, I read through the community guidelines on the No Sleep Reddit when I started listening, and they're like,
understand this though, those are not the guidelines that existed back then. The guidelines change every couple of years.
Well, the ones that are up now is like no excessive gore, no blood, no.
There's blood's okay. It's just you can't be excessive about it, like every other word.
That will change as you get into later seasons because they eventually do start putting a disclaimer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
See, I could probably work around something that I didn't have those guidelines, because it just seemed to me like if you eliminate all this, that's just a shitty day. It's not scary.
And that's the thing. So later on, there's a rule these days where a story actually has to genuinely be scary. Like there's again, the guidelines and rules have changed a lot over the years. And once they got away from mostly taking stories from the Reddit, now they just take stories from writers, and you don't have to follow all those same rules anymore. You do not have to follow the same rules as the Reddit these days.
That's fair enough.
They prefer, first person. But if you're going to do first person, they also like it if you have a couple different, points of view. in there, or like the first person is talking to someone, so that way they can have more than one voice actor in in a story. And there's lots of little things they mention on their submission pages that they enjoy. And starting with season 3, you also get one of my favorites, and that is the microfiction episodes. Those are brilliant.
That's cool. Well, I mean, like I said, I'm in now.
I'm talking like 30, 40 little micro stories, like in one episode too.
Wow.
They're brilliant. I love those.
They also get to a point where they start doing like seasonal themes.
Yes.
Where they'll do like, we're doing our throwback to 80s horror movies, or
the recent one, yeah.
Yeah.
There's the postseason.
And they just did one where all of the stories were like on the train, and there are no sleeping cars on this this trip or something like that. And
yep.
Well, I'm definitely enjoying it. But I'm also, I guess I'm kind of learning it to using it to learn a lot.
It's good to learn about the first person POV and how to write in it, and then throw away the rules and do your version. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It will definitely shape your writing, that's for sure.
Yeah. I used to only write third person omniscient for the longest time until I really got into No Sleep and started doing more first person. And I've altered the way I write it, based on the rules when I used to just post all the time to fit like my style, what I like to do.
I'm still not comfortable with first person. I am playing with it for something right now.
Contingency was first person.
It was kind of first person.
It was mostly first person.
It was kind of first person. It was
just kind of the diary style that she wrote it in. It still lends itself to first person.
Yeah. But the one that I'm working on now, definitely first person. So it's kind of a struggle.
Jenny, what do you got to say about No Sleep? You haven't said anything.
This episode is very hard to get a word in edgewise.
Well, you have the floor. The floor is yours.
I have the floor. I have the floor of. I've only heard a couple stories so far, and I've loved what I've read on the Reddit, and it is definitely an interesting journey that I've been thrown into. I hope to get back to after I can get past this Christmas season.
A lot of creepypastas are also on No Sleep too. So you've actually probably read or heard more than you realize, I would imagine, because there's a lot on there.
Yeah, considering there's like entire YouTube channels of creepy pastas where we've just killed them.
Oh yeah. And if you want to go back and see what made No Sleep and actually find the original correspondences and the whistlers and a lot of shit, there's actually a separate No Sleep subreddit for that I can give you a link for, where it's the No Sleep Index is what it's called, where it indexes all the original stories, because after a story's been around so long, it gets moved to the index basically.
Correspondence is one of those that's going to be in there.
It's that one's got to move to the index. It's in the index for sure. And then and there's also No Sleep Finder, or if you're trying to remember the name of a No Sleep or you just want really good recommendations, you go to the No Sleep Finder subreddit, and then you'll get all the shit. And if you want to learn more about the writers and stuff like that, or like what the trends are and all kinds of cool stuff like that, you go to No Sleep OOC. There's I'm telling you, 6 or 7 different subreddits for No Sleep other than just the traditional No Sleep subreddit.
I'm sure David Cummings has made his bones now out of all of the No Sleep stuff.
Actually, I mean, only the podcast, because he's not even the person that created the subreddit at all. That was someone else that came along. It had been around for a couple of years before the show started, and David he wrote on it and he really enjoyed it, and he talked to the original owner of the subreddit, and then started doing his own thing.
Well, I mean, he's got the podcast now, which generating income because they've got sponsors now, and they play the ads and all that, or they write their own ad read for the episode so that it fits in line with the theme.
Only for the free episodes. I don't get any of that. I don't. Sometimes I'll go and listen to the free ones just to see what the ads were once in a while because it's ad free with the paid.
But they also have the YouTube streams, and
Yep.
started doing the tours, and they've got their merch now. So
They also do gaming, and that's another cool thing to be on the Discord. There's a lot of stuff they do that's Discord only. And again, if you subscribe to the $10 a month thing, everybody gets access to the Discord as long as you're subscribing. And they do giveaways, all kinds of cool shit. That's one of the main reasons I still subscribe as often as I do, because I listen to it nonstop every night. That's what I fall asleep to. So when I get to the end and I'm all caught up, I just start back over from the beginning.
yeah, it took a long time to get through all. What is it, 18 seasons now? 19.
Yeah, 19, I think. But I mean, I go through a lot of episodes a day because sometimes in my office when I'm working on stuff, I just leave it on all day and listen to it. I mean, you're looking at sometimes on some days, even the long episodes, I'll get through like 7, 8 of them easily.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like there's so many stories now, and you listen to so many of them, it's hard to remember them all.
Oh man, unless you're me and listen to them as frequently as I do.
Yeah, but I listen to other podcasts too, so it's hard for me to.
Yeah.
I listen to a bunch of other podcasts too. There's one of my other favorite podcasts that I listen to is called No Bad Ideas.
I know that one.
It's made by Zach. What's his name? Sarah Shackett. God, what's Zach's last name? What's Zach's last name?
I can't remember his last name. I've only heard it twice. I've only heard like 2
And
episodes.
Sarah Shackett, Gabrielle Urbina, and Zach Valente.
Mm.
I had to think of the other two in order to think of his name. I don't know why that is. They originally put out a podcast called Wolf 359, which was fucking amazing. It was an audio drama, excellent
That one I
writing.
know. Yeah.
And then they did a few smaller podcasts from there based on the success of Wolf. And they've got one out now. Was it on something? I'll have to look it up. It's more along the lines of like magic and mystery and things like that.
Yeah.
But each episode is like a standalone story.
Yep.
And then they did No Bad Ideas. No Bad Ideas is like a game where one of them will bring in a story from the internet that's just a really bad idea that somebody has done,
Yeah.
and they will try to turn it into a good story that would be sellable in some other format, usually movie, but it could be anything else, comic, graphic novel, whatever. But they will take this bad idea and turn it into a good story. And I love that one because it's downright hilarious sometimes with some of the stuff some of the ideas that they bring to the table. It's quite funny.
I'd love to do like a no sleep style like show for the network. I did one with Twisted Geekdom. It was called Campfire Tale. No, that one was called. That wasn't Campfire Tales. That was the name of the book. I can't remember the name of it now. I got it on YouTube. I got a link. We did like 5 episodes of it. It turned out really good. It was a lot of fun. I got to finish writing the audio drama we are doing currently though about the haunted house.
Yeah, so if you get into it, check out No Bad Ideas because it's a good podcast too. I like that one a lot.
Yeah. If I'm in the car though, I don't get to listen to No Sleep a ton, and unless Michelle's in the mood to listen. She does like it, but she listens to like a lot of true crime stuff, which I also find that I enjoy quite a bit. So like when I'm in the car, I'll listen to whatever podcast she wants to listen to, just to kind of get out of my usual funk.
Well, you get to listen to your stuff now and then wait for manic messages from me going, hey, would this work? I'm so dumb.
What other podcasts you listen to, Jenny?
Okay, the ones I listen now I can't say them because you asked. Nairi Battalions Friday Night History podcast. I listen random ones about the history and the ghost of different places.
Okay.
Appalachia, Louisiana, Atlanta, random places.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Creeps. I think I've done just about everything on his channel, and then
Oh yeah.
I'm always finding new random ones.
Oh yeah. There's some good ones, man.
And then whatever I can find on the current thing I'm searching, because I'll find random podcasts about different areas where I'm researching the history of and the what type of ghosts are in that area.
Okay.
I have found that I have an obsession with death and what's happening, and then Josh is like, "Yeah, I figured that one out a long time ago," and I'm like, "I didn't realize it was this bad."
Oh yeah.
I'll tell
There's
you
a
the podcast that started it all for me. The one that got me into podcasts.
Mhm.
Welcome to Night Vale.
Oh yeah, Night Vale's a fucking classic, dude. I love Night Vale.
And it's still going strong.
Ignore the cloaked figures in the pet park.
Then the one that has nothing to do with ghosts or anything, bedtime stories, was Celosia Crane, and you
Nice.
would different versions of fairy tales from all over the world
Oh,
from
cool.
her. I
I used to
definitely
listen.
recommend that one.
Oh yeah, I used to listen to the lore podcast a lot before it became a show, and then I kind of gave up on it.
Yeah.
It was
Then
really
I
good
got
before the show.
then I got into King Falls AM, but then the creators on that show, I think something happened. They had a falling out, and the show abruptly ended with no conclusion.
Yep,
And to this
that was
day, we are
frustrating
still
as
waiting.
fuck. I listened to that one too. There's a really good one. It takes place in Ohio. It's called Unwell. It's a really
Yeah.
good audio drama. I love that one, dude. Every time it's doing something, I pay attention to it. Like always, it's one of my big go-to ones where I'll start it all over again when something new comes out. And then there's something burger. I can't remember the name of it now. But I love it. It's a restaurant that travels in time and space. It's like horror, sci-fi, comedy. Can't remember the name of
Yeah,
it.
I can't either, but you recommended it when I was
Yeah.
trying to find cowboy fangs.
Okay. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
Two and the
Spelling
letter
it.
G.
It's gonna kill me until I remember the name of that because I can't search on my damn phone. But yeah, something burger, Midnight Burger. It's Midnight Burger. It's a lot of fucking fun, man. And then I discovered this other one that I don't remember the name of at all, which sucks because I found it on Spotify a while back. It's about a guy that's just having a shitty life and he needs to kind of take a break from his life. He's been through a lot of tragedy, so he volunteers to go and live in a lookout tower in the forest to keep an eye out for like fires and stuff. There's like
Tower
this
4.
huge mystery. Do what?
Tower 4.
Yes, Tower 4. That's it. Thank you. That's another one I really like. I actually want to volunteer because they have a lot of writing programs where you can do a writer residency in a fire tower, and I've been thinking about wanting to do that at some point.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I had listened to it all. I got caught up on it, and until they hadn't put out another season. I think that there's more episodes out now that I haven't listened to yet
Yeah,
because I got caught up and they hadn't put anything new out. I think there's new episodes out now. I have to go
yeah.
back and get caught up on it.
I haven't listened to it about 7 or 8 months, so I should probably go back and check too.
But Tower 4, it was good, but it reminds me a lot of what's it, Camp Placid?
Lake Placid?
Lake Placid? No. What's the name of the podcast? Lake Placid, I think, is the movie.
Yeah.
Now,
That's
this was
another
like this was kind of a Friday the 13th-esque kind of situation. You know, people going to this camp where people died, and you know, they're exploring it, and then strange shit starts to happen, but there's an explanation behind it. I'm trying to think of the name of it.
That sounds like something I'd be down for listening to.
Yeah, I have to look it up. Let me see. I have to pull up my podcast addict.
It's weird because most of the shows we do just involve us talking about things, but like when I'm chilling out, and unless it's like the true crime stuff that Michelle listens to, I only like story based podcasts when I'm just chilling on my own.
Let's see, 13th hour, 13 Days Halloween. No, let me think.
I'd actually rather chill in my
Bad
recliner and
Guys.
just relax and listen to a good story podcast than I would like watch a show or a movie a lot of the time. More so these days.
That's why I collect audiobooks.
Yep, same. I picked up a couple more recently. I decided I hadn't read Wicked in a long time, and when I read it, and originally there was only 2 books. Now there's 3, and a 4th one's about to drop.
Four.
So I got 1, 2, and 4. No, that's right. There's 4 now, and a 5th one's about to drop. The prequel's about to drop, like in a month or something. So I went and had credits. I had some credits, and then it's like leftover money from some special that they were doing. And for some reason, I went to get 1 through 4, and I ended up not having like I was like $1.10 short or something stupid like that, and it auto purchased 1, 2, and 4. I'm like, no, I wanted 1, 2, and 3 at least. So now I gotta wait for my next new credit to get 3, and then I'll start listening to them.
See, and this is what I find funny. I can listen to these podcasts. I still can't get through an audiobook. I've tried.
You gotta find the right audiobooks, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Fantastic Land, you would definitely get through, and you'd fucking eat it up.
That's fair. That's possible.
Because each I mean, it's a epistolary, so each chapter is from a different person's point of view and perspective based on this crazy event that's happening. So it lends itself almost to a podcast format.
I listen to a lot of audiobooks.
Yep.
I can't do it.
I like Nick Cutter's The Troop is also really fucking good. Basically, these Boy Scouts are out on this like little inlet island type thing that's not too far from the city. It's like a local like area, and while they're there, this guy shows up and he's got some kind of disease and he infects the Scoutmaster, which then infects the Boy Scout. It is fucking brutal, man.
I just saw that one advertised on TikTok the other day.
Oh, I've had that one for like a good year or 2 now. It's a really good book.
Mariah, get Joe Hill's 20th Century Ghosts.
Ooh, that one's good.
A lot of those
Get Joe Hill Nosferatu. That one's really good too.
The different stories in it are close to the idea of a bunch of the creepypastas I found, so I'm pretty sure you might like that one.
That's true. Like, I'll be honest, if I'm not listening to a podcast lately, I am writing, and what I'm writing is not what I should be writing. So there's like guilt there.
No, writing is writing. There's no guilt.
Well, no, I'm supposed to be working on the next Camelot book. Right?
Man, I'm supposed to be working on a lot of things.
I'm so not doing it. Like, my brain is so in dark, creepy mode, it's stupid. Raz knows he read some of it.
Yeah. That's the thing as a writer, though. You can't only have one project going. If you only have one project going and you hit a wall, you need another project to run, to switch over to. That way to kind of help you get through your writer's block on the other project.
Like, I have so much shit open right now.
What are you saying, Jenny?
That's why I have 3 going.
I don't want to say how many I have going.
Wait. So it's not just me, because I'm going to be honest, I'm sitting here feeling horrible because I like start one story and then I'm like, ooh, piece of candy. And I go start another one.
I've cleared out a lot of my backlog. I at one point in time had over 20 started stories. Now I'm down to only having 3 short stories going right now. My school novel, and Silence is Crimson 3, and then some other random shit that I'm not ready to talk about yet.
So I have the next book in the Saints and Sinners series started. The next Camelot book. Apparently there's another customer service book because I got really pissed off one week and just started writing again. So that's happening. Yeah. I have. I started working on the Asylum book. I started working on the Origins thing, which is horror creepiness. And then I have. What was the other one? There's another one that I'm working on right now. Anyway. The book of poetry that I have been working with for years.
That's one of mine too, yeah.
Yeah. So I have like 7, 8 different things going right now, and they're all over the place. And I'm just like,
I have a notes document too with a bunch of other ideas for a bunch of other shit that I put it away about 6 months ago and said, I will revisit this later. I have shit to get through.
like all this stuff. Like earlier today, I was texting you all the different ideas.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
in my head right now. Like that's just what I've written down in that small handheld notebook that I have that's just ideas. Like it's
Damn.
stupid, bro.
Oh, I told you guys my news really. I had to rewrite my entire school novel. The entire thing. It's not an epistolary anymore because I was introducing so many characters and so many things into it that I had a meeting with my teacher, and the teacher's like, listen, this would be a great novel. The problem is you don't have enough time to complete it because this would be like need to be double the length of what we're asking you to do. There's no time for this. But I really love your narrative structure with certain things. You showed me a couple chapters that hadn't even been edited into epistolary format yet. I want to see this as a traditional novel narrative. So I actually went back and I'm up to 43,000 words now. It is fucking nuts, and I desperately need people to start looking at it with like this week because this is the last week of this of the writing portion of this novel, and next class is nothing but editing it and getting all my shit together, sending things out to people, and that's it. That's my whole final class. And I'm really nervous about it, and it's missing some things. There's still a couple chapters I still need to hurry up and write as well, so I got to figure it out.
You can hand me the word porn anytime.
Yeah, I'm about to pass out some links.
Like, you know me, I jump on that train quick.
Yeah, it's more intense actually. It's way more intense as a novel than it was going to be as an epistolary. Like way more intense.
That is awesome. And dude, I have Sage's books, I have Friday's book, I have the book I'm doing with my kid,
Yeah,
and I have this weird, odd thing to the side that I haven't quite figured out what it is, but I have scenes for it.
yeah.
That's happening to me a lot lately too. It's like this random thought that's like, oh, that'd be cool.
Oh yeah.
So I write it down somewhere. I'm like, I have no idea where this goes. I just thought it'd be cool.
I just came up with another idea for the next kids book series that I'm working on now. It's going to be about a Christmas carnival.
Awesome.
I like it. The thing that I'm doing, like, so all those ideas that I sent earlier, I think if I put them together with the story I sent you earlier this week that I'm like fixating on,
Yeah,
that would actually be like a whole book of dark stories.
yeah, collection.
Like,
You should definitely do a collection. Collections are fun.
I'm seriously considering this because lots of ideas.
Yeah.
And I know they're not novel lengths. Like, each one of them, I know they're not novel lengths.
Mm-hmm.
They're short story lengths. I know this. So I'd have to have like 4 or 5 of them. But like the origin story that you've been reading, yeah, that's already up to like 3,200 words.
Nice, dude.
So like it's kind of doing its own thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you've noticed it. I'm actually trying to set it up with that build like I did in the horror story. So I think you know who it is.
Oh yeah.
But that's just because you know me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm playing with that right now. Because that's just where I'm at. But like, even in the middle of that, it's like, hey, it would be really cool to see a chipmunk do this with, whatever. And I'm like, I have no clue what book that's supposed to go in. It just sounded cool. It's bad.
Yes, that's where the notes come in. How many things are you working on right now, Ron? What are you up to in writing?
Is this a trick question?
Yes.
I still want to try to finish my novel. Patty told me I had till December 15th to submit it if I wanted to try to get it out for a February publication date. Obviously, that didn't happen. So I'm thinking that I will take the week after Christmas when I'm off work to try to get as much writing done in it as I can.
Can't wait to see that, man.
Might have to push the publication date back a little bit, but I still want to try to get it out for early next year. I've got an ever-growing list of story ideas that I want to work on once I get this novel out of the way. The problem is, even though I've got the idea written down, is whether or not I can actually remember it. Once I go back through, look at my list, I'm like, what was that one again? Like, now here's the idea for it. And I'm like, I don't remember this whatsoever. So then it's just a matter of trying to remember what the hell I was thinking when I wrote that idea down. I came up with an idea last night based off a conversation that we were having at the Christmas party that I went to. One of the people there was talking that in Phoenix, Arizona, they have driverless cabs now.
Yeah, that's a big thing that's coming out.
The passenger, sits in the back seat, and I'm kind of curious to see how that actually goes and what kind of problems are going to arise because of it. And it kind of gave me an idea because I started thinking about it. What if the passenger gets into the cab and then mid-route in the trip, the passenger dies?
Yeah.
There's no sensors in the car for it to know whether or not the passenger is still alive.
That's true.
So you've just got this dead body sitting in the back. And then, once the car reaches the destination, the car is only going to know that the trip is ended if the person opens the door.
Actually, the cars have weight sensors.
Yeah.
They at least know if you're still in the car. If the door opens and closes, they'll still register that there is a body in the car, or a person in the car. It's really cool because, like, it's not that there's a back seat though. Like, because the cars that they're doing, it's really cool. You get me inside of this giant compartment, and there's just a bench seat on either side, and there's these big plate glass like windows like all around you.
Well, the question then remains: if the person dies when they're sitting in the car and the car reaches its destination, I'm sure it probably has some kind of alert because people might fall asleep in the ride, and it will try to wake the person up. Play a sound or a alarm or something like that, try to get the person to wake up. But until that person wakes up or gets out of the car, or the weight sensor trips to say that the weight is no longer on the back seat, the car has no way of knowing.
Yep.
So the meter continuously runs and keeps racking up the price because the person never gets out of the car.
Yep.
So the trip has never technically ended. So how long does it take before the battery of the car runs down and it just completely stops before it becomes derelict and then somebody starts to investigate?
So here's the fucked up part. So what happens if the person doesn't get out of the car and it waits till registered? And it tries to drop you off, and if it just doesn't happen, it just takes the next ride. That's what actually happens. And I know this weirdly because I was thinking about doing this story about this a while back, and I started seeing stuff come out about it. And there was a huge Reddit thread I had gone through with people asking questions like that and all kinds of other shit. And one of the people that designed the car was in the thread, and they were talking about that, other issues. And they said that was something that they were really worried about too. And then there's like a police call option now in it, but they wanted to be able to monitor to make sure someone was still alive and okay and not in distress. But they were not allowed to do that with a patent with a bill because it was considered an invasion of privacy. So they were not even allowed to install that in the vehicle.
So I'm gonna be
The car would
honest.
have no way of knowing.
Well, they designed some systems where the car would. They just were not allowed to legally implement them.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. Considering it was you and Ron, neither one of you ran the direction I thought you would when we started that conversation.
My thought was someone was going to hack the vehicle and take him to a really fucked up place.
Actually, I was going with what happened if it malfunctioned and the vehicle actually became a death trap and the car killed them.
Yeah,
That was me. That was me.
Well,
Yeah.
that's actually not where my mind went, because I was thinking of a crime thriller where the person was actually murdered, or somebody tried to kill him, but they managed to escape and they got into one of these self-driving cabs and then they died in the back seat. So once the police finally investigate, they have to backtrack and see if they can figure out how that person got killed.
Okay, see that makes it. Yeah, okay, I can see why you
So
chose
it's
that.
a crime thriller.
Yeah.
A whodunit.
Who did it? Yeah, no, I get it. The car did it. At least in my story, it did.
The very last page, when everything's solved, the car shows up and it drives away, and you just hear a voice coming out of the speakers going, "Whoa!"
Oh
and
god!
then the last sentence is just Jenny did it.
Raz, maximum overdrive.
Yep. Maximum Overdrive meets the automatic cars from Total Recall.
Yes, let's go.
I have a name for it.
What's
Instead
up?
of General Motors, it's General Murders.
There you go.
I so approve right now.
Yeah, I was the one that was thinking the car malfunctioned and it drove off a bridge or something.
Yeah.
Oh no, I went full on the car goes demon robot and tries to kill you. I'm cool with that one. Like I
It
was
would
like,
give new meaning to the term Ford found on road dead.
Yeah,
Yes.
literally.
Yes.
Literally. That should just be the name of the book, like Ford, but it's
Found on road
F.O.
dead.
R.D.
Look, I come from a profession where, we find it acceptable sometimes to put DRT on our paperwork, and anybody who knows what it means knows we're assholes. Okay, so
It's funny how we each had 3 separate ideas for the same thought.
What would your idea be, Jenny? Let's get a fourth one.
I told you my fourth one that this person was in the car and they started driving and something shorted and the GPS said turn left here, like the Robin Williams joke, and it drove off the bridge.
Okay.
Huh.
I like that.
So yeah, like 4 different writers, same thread, 4 different ideas.
4 different ideas.
You know what though? Like that would actually kind of make a fun
Group
podcast.
project. Yeah.
I was thinking of a fun podcast where we have an idea and then we each go through it like this, or maybe even a segment of Pat itself from now on, or something fun to do. It was actually a lot of fun to do this just now, to be honest with you. It was really
fun.
I like it.
So yeah, we can do that.
Del, that we should pick a prompt, and then all of us write our version of that and tell it for one episode of Society.
That's something her and I have been wanting to do for a really long time. I think that's something we should definitely do this year.
Oh, we did that once when I was in high school, and then I went to a writing workshop with Rami Unger at the Bechley Library over here. It was one of the exercises that he did for the writing workshop, where everybody got the same prompt. Your beginning line has to be this. And it's usually a sentence fragment, and then you finish the sentence and continue writing from there. That is how Date Night came about.
Okay.
That was the story that I wrote for that writing workshop with Rami, and we all had the same starting sentence. And then, we went around the room and we read what we had written, and everybody went a different direction with it. Everybody had different stories based off of that one sentence.
I was working on an idea for something like this with someone a while back. Some friends from the No Sleep subreddits, What we were thinking is doing it similar to the 48-hour film project, where you had 48 hours to write the story, and you would pick certain things out of the hat, like an item that everybody had to use in the story, a subgenre of horror that everybody had to write in, like just a couple different things that everybody had to use and everything, just kind of see how they turned out.
I did that for a flash fiction contest once. The story Going Home that Jenny published in the newsletter.
Yeah.
With Rafiki the lion.
Yeah.
Or not Rafiki the tiger. He wasn't a lion.
Yeah, tiger.
Rafiki the tiger. That actually was a flash fiction where you were given 3 images and then had to write the story based off of those 3 images.
Oh, yeah.
The images, yeah, everybody had to use the same images, but everybody's story was different. And I came in second place on that contest. I got outvoted.
That is awesome. And viewers, you'll get to own it. And Jim, 2 of the Jim's Cabin story, one of her poems, and way, way too many of my flash fictions, and a whole bunch of my kids' pictures next month on the 3rd.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
I didn't even know about that, so that's news to me, too.
I just told you last episode we were in. It comes out on the 3rd.
Yeah, but my brain is Swiss cheese from the accident, man. Like, seriously, the amount of pain I'm in, like, the brain fog is a million times worse than it has been.
Okay, I did try to tell you.
I believe you. I 1,000,000% believe that you definitely told me, dude. Speaking of Jim's Cabin, I've been thinking about getting back to the cabin. I haven't written a Jim's Cabin in a long time, man. I've got Jim's Cabin and Return to Jim's Cabin, and I started doing a 3rd one at some point in time, and I don't know what I did with it or if I ever finished it.
I think you finished it. I think it's in that that one document that are all your journals.
That's the problem. I got to find that document again.
I submitted the story, The 13th Race, for a local anthology here of short horror stories of local writers, and unfortunately it did not get chosen. But then when they published the book, the cover of the book was almost exactly an image taken from my story, and I went, they'll use the image from the story, but they won't use the story itself. That always kind of bugged me.
Yeah. That's irksome indeed.
Oh, well, it's published. It's out there now. So
a bunch of us were talking the other day. There's so much lore here at our haunt, like so much fucking lore with characters and scenes and just so much shit. We were trying to find other, cool ways to get, the haunt out there. And this falls along with the conversation for the day we first met too, Ron, about writing horror character stories like as a novel. But with this one, we wanted to take it and like make it like a full a series about Hell's Dungeon, like with all the each section would get its own like collection, that kind of stuff. Where we go in and we talk about all the lore, how all the characters are connected, all their stories, and put it in prose form, and actually publish that and do the proceeds to the haunt to help keep the doors open.
I would help with that.
Well, I mean, it would also include anyone that's ever guest acted that wanted to be involved with it too. That had some stories that we can mix in with stuff. And
I'd help you guys with that. I can't help you with any of that stuff, but if you want me to make a story happen or purple prose or whatever, I'll help with that. You know that.
I want Buford's backstory to be made into a Trauma-esque type movie.
That'd be fun. We are doing our first movie as a haunt this year. This coming year. We've been talking about, me and Ani have been writing the concept for this for 3 years, and we decided we're gonna finally do it. I'm going to be doing 2 movies this year. That one and the Ally movie are both going to be this year.
Nice. Okay.
My full return to film.
Honestly, my goal for 2025 is if I can do at least the same number of releases next year that I did this year, we will consider it progress.
Man, every time I think, oh my God, I'm going to release just as much or more this year, and I've got the plans with Patty and with Jenny, fucking stupid shit happens, and I put out 1, maybe 2 books if I'm lucky, when I should have done 5 that year. It's been depressing as fuck.
Okay. Do you realize this is the first year I've published multiple things?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I'm just a slacker.
Like I did one book and then waited and then did one book another year and then one book another year and then I stopped for like 8 years.
I don't know what I've released this year. I was trying to think of the other day. I can't remember what all released this. Obviously, I know I did the kids book, but I was trying to think what else it was that got released earlier this year. Was it
No, I've
Riverside
got
Chronicles? I think it might have
one
been
book,
Riverside
3
Chronicles.
anthologies, and the poem collection. That's what I've got. My book.
What was it, Jenny? What was it that I did earlier this year? Was it Riverside Chronicles?
No, Riverside Chronicles has been out like last year.
Oh yeah, you're right. So then, what is it? Just the kids book I did this year?
You've been in I think 2 or 3 anthologies.
Well, I know the anthologies, but like I just don't think I released any other actual books this year other than the kids
No,
one.
I think the only book you've released this year is Sophia's Tale.
Yeah, that's sad. That's the lowest amount of releases I've had any year since I started like really getting into things.
I have the story in the anthology, which was already more than I've done in 8 years.
Oh, it's because I blew past publication dates and I couldn't get them done. That's what it was. Because I was supposed to put the novella for the haunt thing, comedy horror that I would do. That was supposed to come out for haunt season, and I remember now. I remember what happened with everything now.
And then the fall.
Yeah.
And then would you like fries with that? And I think that's it.
I got to get my shit together this year, man.
That's good for me.
Well, I have to put out a couple things this year because this is the year that I finally finished the Sounds of Crimson trilogy, and that's going to come out on Halloween next year.
Oh, wow.
And then the kids book is guaranteed next year for, Children's Book Week again. And then I'm definitely putting out the Poetry Project next year, and I'm definitely putting out the Haunter comedy horror thing I'm doing. So that's going to be 4 releases for sure.
Nice. I'm just aiming for 1.
Oh no, 5. Fuck, because the school one will come out next year too.
Jesus Christ! Yeah. See, already making me look bad. It's fine.
Well, no, I mean this will be the most productive year I've had in forever, as long as things go even remotely how they're supposed to. Some of these projects are pretty close to being done now.
That's fair.
The kids book will take me about a month to write. I'm like 3/4 of the way done with the school book already. I'm halfway done with the mime or Sounds of Crimson, and 3/4 of the way done with the poetry thing, and I'm 3/4 of the way done with the Haunter one too.
Yeah, I'm not close to done with anything. Too many ideas.
Yeah, me neither.
I did more writing than I did actually fucking releasing anything. Hey, Dante.
Dante
Hey,
wanted to try, and since it's a padded cell, I figured it'd be fine.
Of course. We love Dante.
He's like, I got a new truck outfit. You guys see my truck.
Hey, bud.
There's 7 pants.
You think that'll fit me?
He wants to know if we could find some in his side.
Hey, Dante. I love your clothes.
I love you.
I love you.
Yeah, this little boy, he doesn't understand anything you're saying on the TV. He's just happy you guys read to him.
Oh, yeah.
Mwah. You go play, best boy. I love you. One more hug. Always one more hug. Forever and always.
I love your kids, man. They're awesome.
Yes, I have the best one. And my kids love you guys too. Into the Void should be the first thing I get put out next year. I've just about got that done.
Nice.
And that'll have a bunch of the kid stuff and mine.
Oh my god, I just realized I'm continuing with Seth next year too, because I already promised Patty that she's doing another fantasy thing for next year anthology, so I've got to do that too.
I would love for you to.
Yeah. And more stuff. I'm doing more stuff with Stefan too. And oh god, there's something else. Oh yeah, the Freak Show anthology.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta find out what Ron wants to do in the
Yeah.
Freak Show.
What do I want to do?
The Owlite Freak Show. It's gonna be our anthology for next year. I have a themed anthology for Owlite.
I haven't gotten past Patty's call for submissions for the Epic Adventure anthology. I don't know anything about the Ally Freak Show.
No, we just started talking about it randomly, like on a padded cell a couple weeks ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me the lowdown, and I will start putting a minute amount of brain power toward it.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's the lowdown. It's really simple.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna pick some kind of classic, really weird, fucked up freak, from freak show type history, and you're gonna write a story about it.
Can I make up my own, or do I actually have to pick something from history?
Well, I mean, you can make up your own as long as it would fit in with the freak show. And I'm gonna do a wraparound story, like a Crypt Keeper type vibe that kind of connects all the stories together.
Okay. Because I think it would be fun to try to come up with an actual backstory for my clown character, DH.
No clowns in the freak show.
Well, he's a freak.
Well, he's at least a freak that's a clown that might be passable.
All right, so it has to be an actual freak and no clown. Okay.
Correct. Because clowns are circus.
Yeah, circus and freak shows usually go hand in hand, though.
Yeah, but there's separation. There's strong separation.
Yeah,
between
there is. But they almost usually travel together, though.
Yes and no, sometimes. And when the freak show does travel with the circus, they actually separate themselves a lot from the rest of the circus during their travels. And they're usually off to the far side. Like when you walk into the circus grounds, you'll see the freak show separated from everything else. So you'll go in and see the freak show, then leave the freak show, go to the Medway, where like the games and like food and stuff is, and then you'll go into the tent to see the clowns and then the actual circus acts.
I don't have to use clowns. I'm perfectly capable of coming up with something that for a freak show that is not clown related. I have to give some brain power to it, though.
Yeah.
Come up with something good. What are the submission guidelines? Do we know yet? Like how many words? About 5,000-6,000 words as usual.
Probably. Yeah, we haven't discussed any of the particulars except for what the idea is yet. Like we haven't nailed anything down. We've just been talking about it.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do because one I wanted to do has been stolen by Patty, so I'm just like, okay.
We'll get there.
Yes.
But yeah, it's not gonna be for a while from now. We just randomly came up with it during the show the other day, and we were like, "Oh, we should do this," and then now we're gonna do it. We decided to wait until after the first of the year. So
yeah, that's fair. But yeah, I think I've kind of got it down to 2. I was either gonna do the female snake charmer or the world's smallest woman. That's what I had it down to.
Oh yeah.
My brain's already working on something. I think I'm on something here.
That's good.
I've got a part of mine already written since it's Jamie Rotten. It's a part of the story that I never finished a long time ago.
Nice.
I may have to put off the novel a little bit longer because this one might take precedent.
Yeah, because it's that idea that once you latch onto it, Yeah. Oh, so okay, I should add that to my pile of what's in the works. I'm all over the place. It's fine.
I need to figure that out. Along with which death personification I want to do next on the show.
Oh yeah. Ball.
Hulk?
Balls.
Oh, okay. I'm like
Just random balls.
random balls. That works.
I see your balls and I raise you a titty sprinkles.
Yep.
Poor ass. I'm sorry, dude, because I know what's coming. I'm fixating, so I know you're getting ready to get like, read this. Is this right?
And this is the random thing. My mother-in-law just walks in and hands me a cow cup that says I'm here for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Like, thanks, Mom.
Well, we're at the 2-hour and 10-minute mark, so we are after 11 p.m. now, and I have to be up at 6. So
He's gonna become a pumpkin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, pumpkin time.
I'm going to have to let my brain gel on this freak show idea among all of the other ideas that have been swirling around in my brain tonight with runaway cars that kill people and whatnot.
I'm glad I could put that image in your head. You're welcome.
I'm going to get through Monday, and then I'm going to start trying to figure out a freak to add.
And start figuring out a way?
A freak. Which one I want to write about.
And at what point are we thinking about putting out this freak show anthology? Like halfway
when we
through
get
the
all
year?
the stories in.
Okay, so no specific deadline?
Not yet. Not yet. We haven't. We're gonna wait to discuss it till probably January.
Okay, so I got some time to let it gel.
Yes. With how creative you are, I know you're going to come up with something interesting.
If you knew the thought that I had going through my head right now, you'd probably be like, yeah, that's a good one. You want me to tell you what I'm thinking of, or just wait?
Sure.
Go.
So, I was trying to think about something with a guy who has like no body fat whatsoever. He's incredibly thin, and I was thinking about calling him Paperman, and playing off the idea of getting a paper cut, where like if he scratches you, you get cut. Like his nails are sharp enough to cut you, but it's sort of along that same line as thinner, where it passes on to you, or you get infected and you start becoming that thin and you become Paperman, something like that. But then I thought, nah, because I'm not. I mean, it's an okay idea, but I think I can do better. But what if, like our Paperman, or he's incredibly thin. What if he has a condition where he bleeds from the eyeballs? But when he bleeds from the eyeballs, there's a lot of mic static, and I'm just gonna wait for the hurricane to pass. That's over Mariah's head right now.
Whoa, that's crazy.
No idea. I think she's on a headset. I think we lost her. Oh, she's muted now. Okay. And Raz is muted too, so it's just me. Okay.
She was just running through a forest, apparently, getting hit in the face by trees is what it sounded like.
Yeah, I know. God.
You're lost. You're in the woods. There's no one here to save you. There's a witch. She wants to kill you. There's no one here to save you.
What was I saying? Bleeding from the eyes.
Yeah.
So we have our incredibly thin man who has a condition where he bleeds from the eyes. When he bleeds from the eyes, he gets apocalyptic visions of death, and it's predicting somebody's horrible death, but you don't know who it's going to be. So if you're in the crowd, in the audience, and he's spouting all of these apocalyptic visions of death, it could apply to anybody that's in that audience. Now, you could also be, if you meet him one-on-one and the blood from his bleeding eyes drops on you, it causes you to get that apocalyptic vision of death, but it's your own death.
Okay.
So these are like the thoughts that are running through my head.
That's cool.
And now that it's out there, somebody else will probably steal it and they'll write the story before I get it done.
Yeah, but it'll never be the way you wrote it. You just proved the one topic, and all of us have come up with a different story.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, we should have one of us pick a prompt and an object, and us do that for one society coming up.
I like the idea. We know when we're going to be doing our society announcing in advance, so we all have time to work on the story.
We're gonna definitely announce it in advance. It's just right now we're trying to get through Christmas, and this is one of the harder years, so there's a whole bunch of padded cells.
Oh yeah, trust me, I know. God, if you knew what my workload was like at work right now. Ugh. I'm getting through it though. I got a break coming up.
That's good.
But now it's 2 hours and 16 minutes, so yeah, almost 11:30. I really gotta go.
Okay, you run away. Have fun.
All right, brother. Be safe.
It's been real. It's been fun. It's been informative and creative, and get my juices flowing. And now I'm gonna go flow my juices in bed.
Good luck with that.
All right, y'all have a good night.
So high.
Sorry, I've been distracted by what an asshole my children are.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I'm pissed. So apparently, knowing that none of us had food tonight or a way to go get food because of the car and how late it is, they decided to talk to Grandma and get pizza delivered to them, but not to anyone else. And have a whole litany of bullshit excuses that they usually have. So that's pretty shitty. That's the usual kind of treatment. And neither of them have even asked us how we're feeling or nothing since the accident. They're acting like everything's normal. It's fucking crazy. So I'm trying not to murder them daily because they're adults now, so I can murder them and not feel bad about it.
Understandable.
One of them days, man.
Yeah. Whereas my kid would literally bring me the ibuprofen bottle. Mommy, you're acting like you're in pain. Stop it.
See, Matt used to be really thoughtful like that, but that stopped. And I don't think Brooklyn's been thoughtful about really much of anything in the last couple of years. It's what it is. It's what it is. Man. I definitely need to get back to some writing.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to there and make random things like ads. Social media is hard. Trying to figure out better hashtags.
Yeah.
That is why you received a list. Because I just went through and made a list.
Yeah. I know. I just haven't posted anything this week because slacker.
Well, that's okay. I've posted a lot on one of the Instagrams that I've been able to get back. and that was weird.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird.
It's very weird, man. It's very weird.
And Grimlock is making mad. That annoying dinosaur better show up by Christmas or else I'm gonna cry.
Get real stabby, man.
Yes, stabbing a plastic dinosaur. That's a good idea.
But sometimes necessary.
Feels like it. Huh. So, what's your favorite holiday creepypasta?
The pumpkin fucker story. Which is both I think it's still a creepypasta, but it's also a no sleep.
Oh,
But a
okay.
ghost and a guy that fucks a pumpkin. It's a whole thing. I talk about it every year around Halloween. It's such a fucked up story. I've linked it to you guys a couple times in the past, I think. It's been a while.
It's somewhere in the feed, I know.
Yeah. It's so messed. It's funny and gross and just messed up.
I don't really have one because I don't know creepypastas that well. Sorry.
There's a
That's
lot of
fine.
crossover with creepypasta and no sleep. No sleep just has the different set of rules, but some of the stuff you'll find on no sleep does get like moved over to creepypasta. So yeah, there's definitely crossover.
Um, they have this one on Dark Tales, the Chilling Tales to Tell in the Dark. It's
Chilling Tales
actually a
for Dark Night.
three-parter. Yes, that thing. I should know. I keep tagging them in things.
Yep.
They have this one three-parter about the small Santa that goes and stops these people who basically prey on children, and that one was surprisingly good.
Yeah.
And the other creepypasta thing I have to say is it's really weird when you meet one of your favorite creepypasta writers randomly. Glad
Balls.
that happened.
That was a good day.
Yes. Just randomly just start messaging you and you're like talking to me back. It's like, oh, cool.
One of my favorite friendships have been forged over words, man.
Oh yeah.
2 examples right here.
What's up? Yeah. I will be honest, were it not for Raz, I would not have cool Facebook contacts like John Kasser,
Yeah,
Mark
he's cool.
Tufo, and Sean Renette.
Awesome people, man.
Yes, very awesome people, and yeah.
Oh my god, did you hear what Eric just did?
Eric just did.
He just released a cozy mystery about a theme park. It's called the amusement park at the end of the world, and he just got married at Universal Studios.
Oh wow.
What?
Yeah. I keep up with him a lot on what he's up to and stuff. I pay attention to all his groups and everything he's got going on. I'm so excited. It's a one-off too.
Oh wow.
In between like Bestick, and he just went back and finished his steampunk series. He did another trilogy in the same world.
Yeah, and he got the last I really talked to him, he had just gotten, I want to say it was lap band.
Oh yeah, dude. He's like a quarter of the size he was. It seems like.
Yeah, like
He's gotten super healthy, man. I'm really happy for him.
You want to know what's really funny is I still have a Wurble.
Oh, we're both.
I have a Wurble.
Awesome.
He is actually, I want to say he's with my stuffed Jabba the Hutt up on the shelf. Because I got the little one. I couldn't get the big one. Remember, I was complaining about it. I got the little one.
Yeah.
So I got the little Wurble. But yeah, he's doing real well.
The Wurbles are these little stuffed animal creatures that he created. It's a really long story, but he used to sell them there for a while because for a long time he did trade shows like for toys and stuff like that. But that was like his main source of income, and like he's been full-time writer for a while now. Him and Mark both actually transferred from blue collar and all kinds of different stuff to just writing for a living.
You know who I would like to catch up with, because he was doing well at the time, but I really haven't heard anything for a while? Jazz.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about Jazz in a while, man.
Like, Jazz had like 5 or 6 books out.
Yeah, the
Like,
vampire series he was doing was badass. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. He was doing real well, and then there's like nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm concerned, but like I wasn't as close to him as I was to some of the other people we got to know.
Yeah.
So it's like, would it be weird
I don't
if
think
I
so.
was like, are you okay?
I randomly go back and remember being like, holy shit, just message him. Like I was talking to Eric a while back. He actually helped me out a lot about going into the world of writing urban fantasy, because I wanted, some ideas from him and some advice from him, getting into the Seth series because of Vesic. So like he actually gave me a lot of really fucking good advice, man. So when I finally like actually do that as a book, he's one of the first people getting credited. And also Shane Silvers that does the Nate Temple series. He gave me some really good advice too.
Yeah, Eric, and like I still get like he'll still every once in a while like put something up and go, Mariah Lind.
Yep. Are you in his Knights of the Chimichanga group?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you got it. He puts everything about his writing in there. It started for like a fan group and like early reader stuff for the Basic series. So every time he's got freebies to give out, like audiobooks or book copies and stuff, if you're in there, he'll just give them to you.
Nice.
I've written so many reviews for so many of his damn books, dude.
Yeah.
I've written papers about some of his stuff, then sent him the papers from school, and he's got a kick out of them.
He was actually the first male writer that I saw do urban fantasy that it worked.
He was the first one that I met and knew, I'd say. Because, Jim Butcher Dresden Files is still my obsession.
Okay, I'm talking about our level.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And he's definitely well above our level now.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
But I mean, just phenomenal.
I remember back when Mark Tufo only had a few zombie fallouts and Indian Hill started, and then all of a sudden, bam, he's got like up to he's like the 24 or 25 now in zombie fallout, and he's got like so many different series, and damn,
and
man.
the man will still message me and say, "Are you bringing me an IPA?"
Oh, I know, dude. About a year and a half ago, he had to go back to the Stanley. No, 2 years ago, he had to go back to the Stanley again, and it was a romance writers convention. He was trying to get me to come visit him in Colorado, so he would be surrounded in a room full of women, so we could talk horror the whole time we were there. Because he had no idea why he was invited as a writer to this, writing what he writes when it was mostly for romance authors. But he went because it was the fucking Stanley Hotel, and he wasn't going to pass it up.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
We gotta get him on a show sometime soon.
Oh yeah. But like, I sent him a link to the customer service book, and he goes, "Really? I thought we were writing zombies now." I was like, "Don't be bitter. I just did what you told me to do."
And since Herb went legal down there, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He got really into building R2s. So he joined this club and we helped him out. So he's actually built like a full scale replica that moves and does all kinds of cool shit of R2D2. It's fucking amazing.
Oh yeah. I follow what Mark does. Like
everybody should follow Mark Tufo. He's an awesome writer. He's just a good human being, just period, dude.
Yeah. I actually, great thing about that was I had somebody come to work at our store, and this was 2-3 months ago. This kid just graduated high school, and we were talking about books and what you like to read and all that. He goes, "If you like zombies, there's this guy. He's got like 20 books out. His name is Mark Tufo." I was like, "I know Mark." He goes, "No. This guy's like important." I'm like, "Seriously, I know Mark."
Yeah.
And I'm like pulling out my phone. I said, "Okay, you see, this is my name." And I went to my friends list and I scrolled down and I said, "You see that name?" He goes, "Holy shit, you know Mark Tufo." I was like, "Yes."
Dude, somebody in his group like yesterday or today posted in there, "Does anyone not like the Tracy character?" And we were all like, Dude, that's based on his actual wife, Tracy. Don't say that shit. That's fucked up.
Oh man, that's a good way to start a riot.
That's a good way to get yourself killed as a reader.
Yeah.
You don't fuck
Oh
with
yeah.
Tracy.
Oh yeah. And the best part is, like, he was checking his Facebook with her there.
Oh yeah. Oh, Tracy knows. I promise she knows about it.
Oh yeah. But we have talked to him enough, and we had enough downtime in the podcast with just him and Tracy in the room. She was reading that and she had something to say.
Oh
like I would pay to be a fly on the wall when those comments come in.
Oh yeah.
Like, it is what it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I love them both.
We need to grab him and Eric and bring him in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Maybe not together. That might be a bit much.
Well, no, not together. I mean, they write very different stuff. So.
Well, yeah, but just like, okay, so we have our Mark tangents, and then we have our Eric tangents.
We do. They're very different tangents.
And I truly think if they were both to be on the show at the same time, it would go bad.
Oh yeah.
Because like knowing Mark and knowing Eric, and knowing that, like us, they're true nerds.
Yeah.
A subject is gonna come up that we're all gonna get started, and it's gonna be a giant rabbit hole effect.
Oh yeah.
Like, I know how this goes. We've been here before.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it would be funny. We'd be amused as fuck. But I don't think we have the airtime for that.
No.
Yeah.
We could.
Yeah. So, for those of you that are unaware, Mark Tufo is also the reason that I ever wrote a zombie book.
Mm-hmm. Also,
Like,
Jason, his Zero Effect series was heavily inspired by Mark, and Mark talked to him a lot about that, man.
Oh yeah, but like, we had him on the podcast, and we were talking about the zombie Fallout series, and he asked a question, and I gave an honest answer, and then he was like, "If you don't like it, fix it."
Yeah.
You're a writer. Write it.
Yeah.
Now, admittedly, when he first said it, I was like, "Oh no, I don't do that. I write fantasy. This is what I'm doing." But then he said it a second time, and for those of you that know me, I take challenges very seriously. So it was kind of like that scene in Robin Hood Men in Tights with the gauntlet. So it was like, poof, and I was like, okay, fine, I'm writing a zombie book. Because he was right, and the cool thing about that is it kind of forced me out of my idea that I could only write one thing. So, yay, Mark.
You can write all the things.
Well, back then, I truly, it's something I still kind of struggle with now, but I truly believe that the only thing that I could write was like old school fantasy, like just magic and no tech and all this, and being challenged and told, hey, you're a writer, fix it, and then wanting to prove that I could. It was an interesting thing. It was a very interesting thing.
Yeah.
Definitely, dude. Definitely.
I don't think I've done too bad, because I decided one day, you know what? I want to see if I could do that too. And I think my ghost stories are getting better as I go. I don't know about the fairy part, but I think I'm getting somewhere.
I can't wait to see more shit, man, honestly. I need more Jenny writing to read.
Yes. Yes,
I
very much
finished
so.
one story.
Send. I must read.
Okay, I shall send it. It is the one where Friday does the tour of the circle around where she lives.
Okay. Oh yeah.
And I still have dreams about that church though.
It's fucked up shit, man.
Yeah, life is weird.
It is. It's a very weird dream. I have vivid dreams still of a number of things, especially, well, not oddly enough, I guess, from Riverside.
Yeah, you dream about Riverside. I dream about S.A.D Daisy. Do you have dreams about the place where you lived as a kid, Mariah?
Constantly. Um, well, there's two of them, and both of them are kind of appropriate for being creepy.
Mhm.
Um, so one of them, it was my mom and dad's starter house. It was a 1920s colonial style build, 2 bedroom, 1 bath, all wood. So this house made noise. It made noise like um creaking boards all the time, uh thumping noises in the attic, and we stayed there till I was 9 or 10, and then we moved to Linden, and like we moved onto 3 acres of completely wooded land on a river surrounded by trees with no street lights on a dirt road, no less. So also creepy. Um so yeah, I dream about it a lot. I think about it a lot. A little bit twisted.
I don't know if you guys read that Shiva story I put in the newsletter, but
I
that
did.
one's an actual recurring nightmare I have had since my mom died. The car just keeps changing.
Yeah. I know
I
my
don't know why.
gremlin spring cleaning one is one. I don't think I've ever written that one down ever, but like that's still my continuous one. But I've mentioned it so many times on the show. I'm not going to go back into it now, but that's my biggest one. But I haven't actually had that one in a while. I haven't had any of my old school recurring dreams in a good couple years now, which sucks. I miss them. I want to know what's going on.
I haven't had the Shiva one since I wrote it down. So
That happens sometimes. Like you write it down and you acknowledge it, and then your brain's like, "Oh, we're done with that one."
Like I should write about that house. Like now that I'm seriously thinking about it. And like I could actually write about both of them cuz Raz is actually the house in Linden. He's been on the phone with me when I've been outside and stuff's making noise.
You know what's funny? I'm living on a street right now called Linden.
I know.
Linden Avenue.
Like I was always going, does he? And what's really fucked up, I think I can't remember. How is it spelled?
Here it's Linden.
Yeah, that's the spelling there is exactly the
Yep.
spelling for the town that I lived in, or the
Yep.
little thing I lived in, which is why I was like, does he know?
Yeah.
Does he realize?
Yeah, I did. I thought it was hilarious. I mean, that's I've been here 5 years. Well, I've been working here 5 years, living here only so long, but
Yeah. Like, again, the oddities, for me and Raz's ships passing and fate. It's
I got a number of
crazy.
interesting ones with Jenny too. We find out from time to time as well. Not as many as with you, Mariah, but I definitely have some with Jenny too,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and a few with Dell.
Well, apparently, me, you, and Dell make up a fully functioning brain. So
Yeah, well, no, Jenny's part of that now too, man. I'm serious. Like it's weird. Like we're now a hive mind, I think,
yeah, that
and we just
works.
we absorb more people like ever so often.
Every
I like
once in a
being
while.
absorbed.
That's what she said.
Resistance is futile.
Reminds me of the movie Slither.
I know, right?
Dude, my kid has stolen my Latifah doll and he plays with it all the time.
That is awesome.
So, I got a Christian story for you, Raz. So, my son, my autistic son, who struggles with social cues, is actually responsible for the best Christmas present ever last year. We were all excited. We got him a job. He actually works in my store.
Right.
So he's working as a CSR. He has his own money. He has his own bank account. I don't harp. I let him do him. As long as he saves money, but he can still afford the one bill I gave him to pay.
Yeah.
He can do what he wants. So my kid, unbeknownst to me, we knew when he started working that he was enjoying the having money thing. He started ordering from that dice club for D&D dice that send out dice every month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool shit.
So he's jumping on all that. He got an Xbox and he got a TV. He's spacing out
Wrong
his
console
purchases.
though. He should have gotten the PlayStation.
Well, he's thinking about the PlayStation. He's like me. He's like, can I really afford spending this much on something that I'm only going to use this much?
Right. No, for real.
So, he's measuring everything out. But so we were used to packages coming whenever he got a paycheck. So every 2 weeks. He started ordering Christmas presents last year in October.
That's smart though.
And he started getting everybody's presents. I had no clue he had done this. He chose all the presents himself. He chose everybody's stuff.
That's awesome.
So I, color me surprised when, I'm looking under the tree and I see these oddly wrapped presents. And I'm like, where did those come from? And I find out Christian had got everybody presents.
Nice.
Not one present that he chose would I say was wrong for anybody.
Oh, yeah.
And I watched them go. I watched his dad get one. I watched Josh get one. Stephanie, each one of her kids got one.
Yeah.
My mom got one. And I was just content that my kid had thought of other people. I didn't think he got me anything. I was wrong. When I go to open it, this kid and how he found it, I don't know. He found somebody that works with electronics and got like Darth Vader frozen on Mustafar with his lightsaber extended. And the thing is done so that it lights up like the lava's on fire.
Nice. So it's like a diorama type of thing?
Yeah, except it is like a 2 by 2 by 6 like standing lamp that it's not big or anything, but when it's on, it rotates through colors. I have no clue where he found it. I have no clue how. This is the coolest thing ever. I plugged it into my computer and it's just rotating colors. And I'm like, that is fucking awesome.
Dude.
It even has a remote.
Somewhere I have the Death Star. It's magnetic, so it floats on this pedestal and it's a speaker.
Nice.
Somewhere.
Nice.
But that's a fucking cool gift, man. That's a big step for him.
That really was. And like everybody was like, well, damn. Because like my kid giving me that, like for him to have made that choice and put that much thought into it,
Yeah.
wow.
Right.
Like, good job, buddy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's doing things now, Raz.
That's good, man. I should probably be getting
Your
going
kid
here
is
in a few
awesome.
minutes. I got some things to figure out.
Okay.
Possibly a walk ahead of me. Got to figure that
I
out.
have no idea. Yeah, that's gonna suck. I
Yep.
have one more
Pretty
question.
cool.
What is the one no sleep story that you think people should listen to or read most?
The Showers. 1,000,000%. It's probably my favorite one ever written on No Sleep by anyone. And I love a lot of stories, but that one is by far the one that hit me the most because it's about a kid that grows up a lot like me, loving to tell stories and freak people out, and really amazing at telling stories. And then his English teacher tells him this story that just changes his life, and it's his most favorite one to tell at parties, and people talk to him about it. But he gets obsessed with the story, like obsessed, and tries to find the location of where the events happen, and like a lot of shit happens. It's a great story. They do it on the No Sleep podcast, but you actually want to read it because there were more parts to it after the episode came out.
So far, and mind you, I said this earlier, I'm not far in it, but so far mine would be Correspondence because that one is just whew.
It's amazing.
Okay. I don't have one yet that I know for a fact I think people should read, but I do think everybody should listen to or read A Season to Dismember.
That one's crazy because I had to rewrite it. I rewrote it twice because the original version didn't fit the No Sleep rules, and I loved it. And then I changed it out just for No Sleep, and I was never happy with it. So I actually yanked it at some point in time from No Sleep, like eventually, and redid it and sent it in, and it got on Chilling Tales for an episode.
Oh yeah. And I think I enjoyed when you read it too.
It was a fun one, man.
I may eventually submit something that I write to one of these, but not today.
But not today.
Nah.
I'm happy today.
I don't feel like I'm that far along yet because I'm still working on all this.
Oh,
Like,
but you're wonderful so far. I have enjoyed everything I've read of yours.
it's okay. So it's making my brain realize it's okay to write the stuff that's in my head because it's honestly probably one of the biggest arguments Raz and I have ever had. Especially when I first started, I felt like everything had to be light and fluffy and it had to have a happy ending. That's not realistic. There is bad things that happen. There is, and dark writing, dark things happen. But for a long time, I wouldn't write it at all because I was like, no, I can't write it. Now I'm having to start getting comfortable because Raz more than anybody else knows, no matter what comes out of my mouth, my actual thought process is actually pretty fucking dark.
It is. It is. It definitely is.
So if I'm not going to acknowledge that dark creepiness that is there, then whatever I write's not really me.
Right.
So I'm trying to get more comfortable with writing that aspect because apparently it's okay to be dark and twisted. Who knew?
Very okay.
Oh yeah. We have a place for it here.
Yeah.
Indeed.
That is my favorite part. That is why I have started writing more, because I finally found the place that I fit in here.
Run through the woods again.
Yep. So that's probably my clue to go because it means my internet's about to go wonky.
Yeah, we should definitely sign off.
Okay, beautiful people, thank you for coming.
Have a
Don't
good
forget
night.
to check out the Owlite Library. You'll find, I think, most of the links to the books we talked about today.
Yeah.
I went and found them and put them in the thing.
Oh yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.